Round one. Fight! The whole thing!
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tier Ranker Fights. I am your host, Jordan Movie Hero Anderson. I don't know, I'll ask the other panelists if you guys saw the freezing and the glitching that I saw on my end during that intro. Oof. Hopefully it played smoothly for you guys. If not, oh well, you guys if you tuned in before, you've seen the intro, you kind of know what it's all about. Because tonight we are talking about best action movies from 2016 until now. We want to cover every decade, maybe back until like the 70s of action movies and possibly 60s. Well, we're not sure yet, but at least 70s. So and we realized that there's so many dang action movies in the 2010s, from 2010 till now, that we decided to split it up. So so you get 2016 until now. Any movies that were released 2016 or after that, then they're fair game for this episode. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring in our panelists for tonight. We have my co-host for tonight, Austin Pez Howell.
Yeah, it's a whole week of, Movie Hero Network After Dark this week. A lot of late shows, but it is what it is, having fun late at night. What'll keep me going tonight is my Swedish Fish Ghost Energy Drink. So there you go.
I got Swedish Fish one now, dang.
Yeah, I've had the two Sour Patch Kids ones. They're good. The Swedish Fish one's pretty good too.
Go ahead and look up for the Warhead one. That's what we got here. We got Warheads. So, yeah. but we also have joining us. We have Richie Nemo Goodacre. How's it going?
As an Australian, what the fuck is Swedish Fish?
they're just like fish cherry gummies, like just cherry gummies, like basically. Right. But yeah, that's all they are. They're just called. I don't know why they're called Swedish Fish. I've never understood that part of it, but they're like non-sour gummies.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Well, people really like them because imagine like a fruit snack, but they're like bigger and like kind of like firmer. So I don't know, people just like them for whatever reason. But
it's adult fruit snacks. It's the same shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But we also have joining us Steve Mesa. How's it going?
It's going very well. I'm here on a Friday night as we talk about some of the best action movies from the year 2016 to now, and I'm down to hang out with some great people, talk about some great movies, and let's get started, baby.
All right, let's do it.
All right, well, me and Richie are here. Instead, we're going to do an impromptu wrestling show. So let's talk about the best matches from 2016 till now. All right, let's go.
We're switching it to other guests that aren't huge wrestling fans. Sorry, guys. We have at least one more person join us. We have Steven Shepard with us. How's it going, Steven?
Hey, I like Swedish Fish a lot, although I try not to eat too much candy these days because I'm trying to lose weight.
Yeah,
me too. But this one actually is sugar-free. Oddly enough, it's sugar-free. So, hey, who knew? Wow.
I have to ask you guys, though, did you guys see the intro freezing like I did?
No, it was fine with mine.
Okay, that's good on my end, too, as well.
Unless the intros are always a little choppy for my tablet, but that's just me. Like, that's just my tablet.
So that was mentioned. So
just my computer. That's why we're going late tonight. For anyone watching, we usually go about an hour sooner. But not only did I have to work longer tonight, I came home and like all the graphics for everything tonight was gone, and I have like 80 something graphics. So I'm like, shit. So I just I put it together quick. So yeah, but I think we have everything that we need. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Do you want to explain how it's going to work, Austin? And I'll bring up the
yeah. You go ahead and figure it up, and Tier Ranker Fights is basically just sort of a roundtable thing. Everybody's going to get a chance to go around the horn and nominate a movie from our very lengthy list. Like we said, this decade was very much stacked, so that's why we had to split it into 2 parts, because we just couldn't fit everything into one chart. So everybody will go around, pick something from the list, nominate it for a certain tier. We've got S for superior. That is the cream of the crop, best of the best. Yeah. We're looking for 10 total in those S tier by the end of the episode. Whether we actually get 10 in the S, whether we have to pull some from the A, we'll see what happens. And the rest go like letter grades from school, A, B, C, D, F. And we've also got tiers for not an action movie. If you want to nominate or argue for not an action movie, if enough people give that the majority, that's where it goes. And haven't seen we need at least 3 qualified votes to get it up on an official ranking. So if not at least 3 people have seen it and can talk about it, then that's where that goes. And basically we'll go for roughly about 2 hours. I'll kind of see where we are coming up on that mark, and then we'll have one final sort of last chance Hail Mary round where we'll get some last minute nominations out and see if anything jumps up into that S or A tier right near the end. We've had it happen before. We've had some get overwhelming S's right near the end in that last chance round and shoot up in there. So don't think it can't happen, because it absolutely can. We've had it happen before. So, but you can nominate any movie for any ranking throughout the show. You can go for the crap on the list. You can go for straight for the S tier. You can go for something you think's right there in the middle in a B or C tier, whatever you like. And that's what we go for. But yeah, our top 10 for tonight in the S tier will be in our poll in the Shoutout Friends and Family group. And we'll also pull 3 from the A tier for our honorable mentions in that poll as well. So that's what we're going for tonight, guys.
Yeah, and as we go through the first round, I'll copy and paste the actual list for our panelists here into the private chat, so you guys can see that there. Mm-hmm. But I always have to do that during the first round, so that'll pop up shortly here. But you can kind of see like how many. I mean, just from 2016 to now, like how many freaking good action movies that we've had. It's been a really stacked decade for action, so it just keeps going and going and going. So yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about tonight, and yeah, so we'll jump right into it. So we'll start at the bottom of the ladder like we usually do. So Steven Shepard, you'll be first. So do you have one that you want to nominate and talk about? I'll do the slow scroll here so you can kind of get a glance at them.
Well, I actually have it listed. Oh, well, except that I guess you do have some movies that weren't in the chat, so maybe I will.
There's a few of them that I added kind of last minute. Not too many, just a few, maybe like 3 or 4, but. Like, take a good solid.
Why does that Unhinged poster look like the Nightmare on Elm Street poster?
Yeah, I was
what the fuck
say.
is that? Huh? What the
fuck? Because I've been trying to up my my posters to just do really cool looking posters. So I was going through
that one is literally a copy of the original '84 Nightmare on Elm Street poster. Look at that thing, the one right there in the middle. Yeah, it looks exactly like awesome, it. Where she's laying in the bed.
Yeah. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's actually one of the posters they actually used. I think it was rare they didn't use it as widely, but it was one that they actually used for the actual promo for Unhinged, which is kind of cool.
I never knew that. That's really weird. That movie is nowhere near as good as Nightmare on Elm Street, but okay, whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah. They're just having some fun.
Anyways, Steven, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll go with one that I sort of kind of briefly championed to be on the list. I briefly mentioned it in the chat, and that's Old Guard. I liked Old Guard a lot.
Find it here.
Yeah, I don't think it's an S tier. I would probably say A tier. Okay. I will admit
somewhere around.
It's I think you need to go down a little more.
Oh, it's the Old Guards, not by.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Right up above upgrade, right almost in the middle.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
I think this movie, as much as I love this movie, I do think it would have been an even better series. But I wouldn't go S tier. I would go A tier.
Okay.
Because it's got a lot of really rich backstory and mythology to it that could have been, I think, explored more in a series. But I still liked it a lot. Charlize Theron is great. Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it. He's great at the action scenes are fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to the sequel whenever that comes out to Netflix. So yeah, I would say an A tier for the old guard.
Yeah, sounds good. And welcome to Chris Scott. How's it going, Chris?
Hey guys, so don't mind me. I kind of I'm sitting outside of my apartments.
Sure.
So, because kind of a little technical difficulties. My wife has to work early, but anyway, so yeah, just kind of jumping in here. I'm not totally sure how long my computer's going to hold up, so I may switch to my phone. So
all right,
that might be slightly ghetto, but yeah.
Well, no worries.
Right.
It's all right.
We've had worse.
So yeah,
Right. So how's the sound quality? Because this is my first time recording outside.
We're fine. Yeah, you're good.
Good, yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. Because I didn't know how solid the guest was.
Yeah.
Of course, here at my apartments.
We've had people like Mark Edward Hoyk where the internet's barely even functioning. So
right, true. Yeah. Where his internet's like wandering in and out.
Yeah. So it's all good. But yeah, so we'll come back around to you.
Okay.
You haven't missed too much because we got a little bit of a late start. So
So what have we were we just talking about Old Guard?
Yeah. So
it's the first movie. So Old Guard was Steven Spielberg's nomination. So we'll come around to you and get your thoughts on it in just a second.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and grab my drink real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Steve Mesa, Old Guard. Have you seen it? And what do you think?
I have seen it. And I know I watched it after the fact that everybody's talking about the buzz about this movie. How it's an original action movie. It's not part of the part of a franchise, at least not yet. For me, I mean, honestly, the movie is it's a little forgettable. Like if you told me if you didn't tell me what the specifics of the story was, you would tell me and then ask me again 5 minutes later. I'm like, you told me that already? All right, sure, I believe you. But Charlie, I think it's a decent movie. I think it has a really great performance from Charlize Theron and great ensemble as well. But for me, I would put it in the C tier, in my opinion.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
I'll keep this short and sweet. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, Austin, what do you think?
I'll also keep this short and sweet. Hadn't seen it, hadn't even heard of it. But to me, most straight to Netflix movies are good premises and mediocre movies, in my experience. I haven't seen a single Netflix movie yet that blew me away, to be honest.
Have you seen
Cake? Yeah. Well, I think Netflix, like I don't know, they seem to be more concerned about quantity over quality. I feel like they're just like pumping stuff out. So yeah, that's kind of their thing because
that's why they're struggling.
As long as people sign up for Netflix and they make money, then that's all that matters to them. So
Well, there's another Netflix movie that I don't think it made it to the list, but I don't remember what year it came out, with Ben Affleck and Oscar Isaac and I forget what the Triple Frontier, I think it was called.
Okay.
That one I actually liked a lot too, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep my turn short as well because I haven't seen it. But the synopsis sounds really intriguing. Like there's a lot of backstory, a lot of lore. I think there's even maybe like some comics or a graphic novel that like go along with it or something like that that's based on. So something that I really want to check out. There's just so many movies that have been released in this time period, especially action, that I haven't gotten to yet. So, but it's on my radar though. So, but Chris, have you seen The Old Guard?
So yes, I have, and it was one of those movies that I remember being really, really excited for the cast. I mean, Charlize Theron and kind of this plot and this idea, but I remember like it being like really kind of boring. I remember I fell asleep like once or twice and had to restart it. But in the end, yeah, it was. I agree. It was just kind of lackluster. It wasn't anything spectacular. Like the premise could have been awesome, and they could have done amazing things with it, but they definitely did not pull it off. I would agree with you. I would have to say it's a C, if not actually a D. I shall go to D because it really was kind of hyped. I felt like with the solid cast they should have had a better story. I don't know what the writers were thinking for
that. Well, we got 3 votes. So
we do have 3 votes, so A, C, and D. So it might get dragged down. I'd say probably in C+ territory. Right? Yeah, something like that. Unfortunately, but yeah.
But all right. But yeah, we'll throw it over to Steve Mesa. So you're up. So what do you want to nominate? I'll do the slow scrolls and come.
I already got my selection, so no scroll needed. Okay. It's just get ready for the selection. Here we go. I'm gonna put on the S tier, Train to Busan. This is one of the best zombie movies of all time. The best zombie movie since Shaun of the Dead. And it has great emotion, it has great humor and amazing action set pieces. Just the fact that they think that this type of movie cares about their characters, unlike a certain Schmalking Schmed TV show, which they just basically give their characters that point fodder. This is an actual movie that cares about their characters and really hits an emotional gut punch at the end. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I won't spoil anything, but this was great. I first saw this on conveniently on The Last Drive-In, which is actually having its premiere right as we speak. So I saw this courtesy of The Last Drive-In, and it was amazing. And I haven't gotten to watch it again, but whenever I get a chance to go watch it, I will watch it again because it's such a damn great movie. And it was such a last-minute movie that I saw of the 2010s. I saw this last year, and this came out in 2017, I believe. So it was 5 years later that I caught up with it, but I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah, sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
I don't get to say this very often, but I completely agree with Steve Mason. This is this movie's fantastic. I watched this when theaters started opening back up in 2020. They put Train to Busan on theaters because the sequel's about to come out, Peninsula. So they put this in. And
nice.
I'm like,
now they're doing a sequel.
So I'm like, I'll go and watch it, and I was blown away. It's one of the best zombie movies ever. I think I won't give anything away, but like ending's like just heartbreaking. It's amazing. So S tier for me, but I don't know how many people have seen it, but I'll say S tier.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, Train to Busan kicks ass. It's a lot of fun, and it's absolutely an action movie. It's an action horror movie because there's definitely it's more action oriented. There are legitimate fight scenes where they're wrapping up their arms with magazines and shit and punching their way through. There's a baseball team that's fighting with baseball bats. There's chase scenes. There's all kinds of cool stuff, and there's even cool stealth scenes where they figure out some things with tunnels and stuff. That's a lot of fun. It's a legitimately great action movie with most of the main characters are pretty intelligent for the most part. There are bad guy characters who are stupid who make dumb decisions, but they're the bad guys and they pay for it. Your main characters are legitimately good. There's actually people you recognize in it. The main guy was on Squid Game, and then the bigger Asian dude, I don't know his name, but he was in Eternals. He was one of the heroes of Eternals. So I mean, there are people you would recognize when you go back to it. It's a great cast, great movie, a kick-ass S tier action movie, absolutely.
Yeah. For me, I kind of had an interesting experience with Train to Busan because I started watching it back in October to watch it for one of our horror episodes, and I just ran it at a time. I watched the first 10 minutes before they even get into the train, and that's all that I really saw, the pre-train stuff. And when I watched it back then, I watched it with the subtitles, but then I was trying to find a place to watch it. This movie's available everywhere. This movie's available in 6 streaming places. It's pretty easy to find. But Started watching it on YouTube, and because they have it there too, and for some reason like it kept like freezing and like giving me ads, which normally YouTube never does. So I switched over to Peacock to watch it there, and on Peacock they had it dubbed instead of subtitles. And usually I like to stick with the subtitle version, but I've been so busy this week with like working overtime and all that I just didn't have time to sit down and like properly read all the subtitles. So I just went with the dub version. So like I'm not gonna knock any points for like some of the like cheesier voices where they don't sound Asian at all. They sound like totally white or something. But the movie's great though. The movie is a lot of fun, and there's some really cool like zombie stuff where they're running fast and like that, and like some cool kills and all that. So like it's definitely an action movie. The only thing I'm gonna knock it on is that like some of the special effects are a little wonky in this. Like they have great set pieces and all of that, but like literally there were a couple of scenes where like I could literally see the green screen in the background, and basically like I could see like that they're not all practical effects. A lot of the zombies, and like they look like they're floating around on the screen. It looked bad. Like it looks like really bad. So like just for that reason, I gotta give it an A instead of an S. But it's still a great movie. Like everything else is like S tier. But some of the effects are just they didn't hold up for me. So I'm gonna say A. But
I didn't notice any of that at all. But I don't know. Maybe you saw something I didn't. I didn't notice any of that shit at all. I thought it was pretty great. Like,
well, there's scenes where like they're first like running onto the train, and there's a big group of like all these zombies just running like in a big horde, and like that's when you notice all the bad effects. It's like specifically that scene was like really bad. So, but Chris, have you seen Train to Busan?
So I actually still have not seen Train to Busan, even though it's been like, I swear this movie's been talked about quite a few like top lists as well for different people we've had on this channel from a horror episode, and I keep meaning to check it out. And I was looking, as you said, it's streaming on a lot of platforms. I really don't have an excuse. I'm definitely going to check it out for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you think?
Unfortunately, I have also not seen it. If I had another day or two, it's definitely would have been high on my list of movies that I was trying to get to for this one. But I only had time to watch one whole movie, and I went with a different one.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. We even if us that have seen it, so we got 3 S's and an A, so I think it's going to stay in S. I mean,
it might end up being on the lower end of S if something else gets a little more majority, but it'll stay hanging there for right now. So yeah, definitely. All right, we'll go to Richie.
Yeah, Richie, what do you want to nominate?
All right, I'm going to nominate one that surprised the hell out of me, considering I think this dude's been hit or miss lately. In the last few years, but I'm gonna I think this is S tier. It surprised the hell out of me. I'm gonna nominate The Gentleman.
Yes.
Right. So
the Gentleman fucking this movie rules.
It's here.
Just like
it's use this cool little whiskey glass poster.
It's so badass. Like Matthew McConaughey's great, and one of the best performances of Hugh Grant I've seen. Like you just totally you don't realize it's Hugh Grant. He's so funny in this movie. And like his best performance from Charlie Hunnam. It's just a fantastic, like Guy Ritchie movie, and I think he works best when he's in the sort of gangster sort of genre. Like he knows how to make these movies. So yeah, it's definitely S tier, and it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
Haven't gotten around to it yet. Sorry, just haven't. Haven't gotten around to it. I don't put Guy Ritchie movies on my priority list, unfortunately. His movies are very hit or miss for me. So I've been burned a lot of times by Guy Ritchie. So I just haven't gotten around to this one yet.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen it either, and I was able to watch about 3 or 4 movies to prep for this, but The Gentleman was on my list. I think I might have made a slight mistake, not a huge one, but it came on between this and the movie Nobody, and I watched Nobody, and the movie's good. We'll get to it eventually, but I'm kind of thinking I would have enjoyed The Gentleman better, but I didn't watch it, so I'll have to pass. But Chris, I know you've seen it, so.
Oh, I love this movie. Like I said, dude, I've talked about this movie so much. It's literally one of my favorite movies of the last couple of years. And it kind of, like I went, oh, so that's Guy Ritchie. And then I went back and watched a ton of Guy Ritchie movies. But I agree, he's kind of hit and miss. I know we got another one of his movies on this list as well, The Wrath of Man, and that was just all right. But this movie's spectacular. It's absolutely an S tier. Incredible performances, amazing action. And I quote that steak scene from this movie all the time.
Nice.
Which Richie obviously knows what I'm talking about, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, Steven, what do you think for The Gentleman?
I gotta be honest. I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest.
Boo!
Yeah, to me the most entertaining part of this movie was Colin Farrell playing Tom Dagnino.
There you go.
So I'll be kind and say a C tier for The Gentleman.
Ooh, all right. Well, Steve, have you seen it? What do you think?
Nope, didn't see it.
On.
Oh,
All right. Well,
still 3
it's
votes,
just, but it's just going to miss the S tier because we usually need at least 3
Seriously,
S's for it
Steven?
to scoot in there. So 2 S's and a
Could be an
C,
honorable
it'll
mention.
probably get knocked down to A. Yeah, it could be an
Yeah.
honorable mention. We'll see.
Come on,
We'll
honorable
see.
mention.
But yeah,
baby.
the C's going to. We'll see.
Yeah.
It very well could. We'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
All right.
well, Austin, you're up next.
All right. All right. I'm going to cheat just a little bit because I'm going to nominate both John Wick Chapter 2 and John Wick Chapter 3 for S tier. God damn it. Both of them are the shit. This whole trilogy
So my pick
is the shit.
because I wore my Keanu shirt for that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be with you here.
I'm nominating both of them because we might as well talk both of them now and get it out of the way because they're both fucking awesome. Because John Wick Chapter 2 did a great job of expanding the universe, really digging into the Continental, digging into sort of how big this underground network goes, the international stuff with Italy, and my boy Franco Nero, Django himself running the Italian Continental was awesome and perfect casting. All the stuff he does with Common is great in that movie. The fights he has throughout it, when he's literally on the run and he's being attacked, from every angle, whatsoever. The big sumo guy and Common and him in the train station, all that stuff is great. And the mirror fight, shootout is great at the end too, where he only gets the 7 bullets from Lawrence Fishburne. And come on, Lawrence Fishburne, they added him. Why not? He's great. And then John Wick Chapter 3, I think, is just as good. Come on, you got John Wick on a horse. You got dudes in motorcycles with samurai swords fighting him. He's, again, fighting off everybody from every angle. The scene with him and Halle Berry and the dogs is fan-freaking-tastic. You got Mark freaking Dacascos in this movie, and him fighting Mark Dacascos, which is great.
Awesome.
A great bit of casting. And just incredible action all around. These movies have always been great. I've loved every single one of them. I think both of them deserve S tier for this show. So those are my votes.
Yeah. I think that's fair that we talk about both of them here, and yeah. So let's go on record as saying John Wick Chapter 3 is in my top 5 movies of all time, like ever made. Like I freaking adore these movies, and the first John Wick 2 it's like just outside that. It's maybe like 7 or 8, and the first John Wick not on the list. It was released in 2014, so we'll get to talk about that on our next episode for action movies. But these are great. Like for me, I do think that John Wick Chapter 2 is my least favorite of the trilogy, but that's not saying much because they're great. They're all like really, really solid. I just like the first one because it kind of sets up everything, and then the third one just because like you get some pretty unique things with him riding around on a horse, and then kind of like you said with Halle Berry, and then him fighting that guy at the end in like some kind of museum type thing or whatever it is, like shoving each other through glass, and like they just keep going and going and going. It's like they won't give up, and like they can't knock the other one out. So with Mark Dacascos, is that how you say his name? I think that's how you say it.
Mark Dacascos. Yeah, man, the capoeira himself, Mark Dacascos.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then even bringing it Angelica Houston for like a cool little scene in the middle there too. So that's fun too. So and then Lawrence Fishburne. So these are great movies. I would say S tier for both of these, but I would rank the third one over the second one for me. But we can talk about that later if they both make them. Like we'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the third one's got to be like the top S tier. The second one maybe bottom, but we can talk about it later. But Chris, what do you think for John Wick 2 and 3?
So I agree. Austin, this series is perfect, and I seriously cannot wait to see what the hell they do with this or the next movie. Yeah, I think you kind of all said like everything that I kind of wanted to say about these movies. They're absolute S tier movie. The series is incredible. It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's an S tier movie, and I know it's not saying much, but I know you kind of hit all the high points that I would have said, Austin, because I love this.
They're awesome. They're awesome.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And I hope that the reason why they got pushed back is so they can do it justice and like get everything exactly right, and not because it's having problems. So we'll see.
No, I think it's mostly just all these things are getting delayed because of studio, COVID delays, and they've just pushed, pre-production stuff got pushed. They're still, sorting things out. So it is what it is. But hey, if it means that the movie's great, push it back a little bit, no problem.
Yeah, and the Continental series, hell yes.
Oh yeah, Continental series. Yeah, we're getting a series. That'll be awesome. Yeah. So, Steven, what do you think for John Wick 2 and 3?
So I know if you see my name, you might think that I might love these movies, but I just put that down because it sounded cool.
I thought it was because you are the boogeyman, and we should be afraid of you, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't hate them.
Afraid of your opinions.
I've just never really got this franchise. The first one is pretty good.
Steven's coming out and shows violence here, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Steven, come on.
We're gonna riot.
If you don't like these as action movies, what are you doing on this episode, bro?
He watches Bob the Builder. That's it. That's his idea of action.
I mean, look, the action scenes are well choreographed, but I don't think John Wick is even that interesting of a character, if I'm being honest.
Oh man! Oh,
they have a great supporting cast.
Yeah.
Don't you dare put this in DRF.
Don't you fucking dare.
The ending of 2 with all the glasses and stuff, that was pretty cool. I'll say that. And the first 40 is actually. I wish the whole movie.
Did you just jump?
Steven, you sound like you're underwater. You're
you
dying.
sound like you're drowning. You're like,
what's going on?
You just dove into your swimming pool.
Steve,
save me.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a microphone. You need to pull closer or what. Yeah, but you're drowning.
Remember, like Jordan Owens, where he has to hold his mic right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I sound better?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Maybe your connection dropped off or something briefly.
I loved Halle Berry in Chapter 3, and that fight scene the action scene you talked about with the 2 dogs is another great action scene. So these aren't bad movies.
More than 40 minutes in the movie, so you're saying nothing but good things so far, and yet you're going to rate it low, but that's fine. So, I'm just pointing that out.
These aren't bad movies, but I just think they also get very convoluted and silly. And I'll go C tier for both of them.
You can't be fucking kidding me. It's
No,
on the same level
you're
as no. Come on, yeah, you're fired.
The old guard. Yeah. Well,
same level as old guard. Get the fuck out of here. Come on now.
I'd like to see your idea of an S tier, Steven. We'll see.
Yeah, I really want to see your idea of S tier. Please.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
he's like Bambi goes home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Mesa.
Steve Mesa. Hello, Steve.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Sorry. I was just listening to everybody talking about just basically.
You're just still in shock from
so,
that last round.
Yeah, I know.
No, for sure it belongs in the S tier. Like, I'll be honest.
Thank you.
I'll be honest with you that I wasn't a big fan of the first movie, the first John Wick, but the second and the third movie really blew my expectations out of the water because they really took what they had in the first one and expanded and made like, you know, made the characters unique and different than what it was in the first one. And the third one takes it even more because then you have this whole thing happening around the world. John Wick just running away from, you know, just from their old bosses and everything after what he did in part 2. And the Halle Berry dog sequence reminds me of an old video game. I don't know if you remember this, Pez. You remember this movie, video game called Dead to Rights?
Yeah.
That's exactly that sequence. Exactly like they took that from the video game Dead to Rights, because you get to control the dog and like they attack the dog and then they can attack the nuts and the throat and all that. So I was like, oh my god, they're big Dead to Rights fans. Chapter 3, Paramount. So yeah, it belongs in S. I vote for S.
I just like the fact that the dogs also have their own like bulletproof vest, sort of dog bulletproof vests on. I think that's an awesome just touch. Like that's pretty cool. They have their own armor. So Richie,
one of the best use of like dogs I've seen in any action movie.
Yeah, ever. It's great.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry guys, I'm moving. It's kind of cold outside. I'm gonna go sit in the yoga studio at my gym at my apartment complex.
All right, good.
You're good.
Yeah, Richie.
Like I honestly, I could watch John Wick 27. Just keep doing these movies for the rest of your career. Just the simple formula, like Keanu Reeves just rebranded himself as just a badass. And look, I'm excited for John Wick 4, and then I think they're doing John Wick 5, so and the TV show. So I thought they were going to come up eventually, so that's why I just went for like maybe an underrated one, The Gentleman. But they're definitely going to come up eventually. And they when you think of like action movies of this sort of era, that has to be S tier. It was definitely going to be S tier going in. I knew John Wick was going to be brought up, so yes, absolutely S tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 5 S tiers for both of them overwhelm Stevens' own vote. Sorry, they just do. So they're staying up there. Yeah. Well, we've even had shows where like everybody had an S tier and like one person had an F. But if like we have like 5 S tiers to 1 F, even that overwhelms the F. So it's overwhelming enough.
I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
Well, apparently you do. It's a C tier. It's just a mediocre action movie. It's just mediocre. Yeah. Just run of the mill, run of the mill choreography, run of the mill story, just completely mediocre.
Yeah, I would say F for the worst of the worst. And John Wick, I may not care for John Wick, but it's definitely not the worst of the worst.
Yeah. All
right, Jordan.
So my turn now, and since you brought up the movies that I want to talk about, which is totally cool because we're going to talk about them regardless. But I'm going to go with one that I'm kind of curious to hear your take, and maybe some other people's take if enough people have seen it. But I want to talk about Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like this is my favorite movie of the year so far. This movie just blew me away, and this movie just gets batshit crazy. Like it is just like, so you have Michelle Yeoh, you have Hui Hee Kwan who played
Short Round.
Short Round.
He played Data in The Goonies. He played all that, and then also you have Jamie Lee Curtis, and like hands down maybe my favorite role she's almost ever done. Like you could tell she was just having a blast doing this, just playing these kind of goofy, kind of off the wall characters. Sometimes she's like playing like a big schlubby lady, like in the IRS. Where they have to go, and then the next minute you see her doing action scenes, and then you see all the characters, like all the main characters doing action scenes, and they're like in and out of all these different dimensions, just like using all kinds of crazy things for weapons, and then they can kind of gain powers from their other selves from other dimensions, and they can learn things, and it's just super creative storytelling, and then it's also really sweet. The movie has a lot of heart, like there's a really cool storyline between Michelle Yeoh and her daughter, and then also between Hui Ki Kwan, who plays her husband in it. And yeah, like it just blew me away. And it's one that I've been waiting to go back and to see again, because I haven't seen the new Nick Cage movie that I want to go see where he's playing himself. I want to go see that and this as like a double feature. So I'll be doing that soon, like maybe even Sunday. That I might go do it before Doctor Strange comes out. But yeah, so like this movie's great. And like, you don't think that it's an action movie. Like it has its action scenes. Like they're doing kung fu. They're doing all kinds of martial arts. They're fighting their way through different offices and different like places that they teleport to. It's also hilarious. It's got a lot of humor. There's just a lot to love. I feel like there's something for everyone in this movie. So yeah. But I won't steal Austin's thunder. I do kind of just to give it just a 2-second preview, because I know what he's going to say, that it's a little long. I do kind of would agree with that. Like I do think that's a little long. They probably could have shortened it up a little bit, but even so, I'd still give it an S tier, despite that. But Chris, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once yet?
I have not seen it yet since we talked yesterday. Since you talked about this movie, I haven't even really watched the trailer for it, but I know a lot of people have like said ridiculously positive things about this film. Which by the way, my laptop is at like 19%. It was at 45 or 50%. I couldn't find my cord for some reason. So, anyways, sorry. Back to this. But yeah, I really unfortunately can't give you an S tier for you, buddy.
I feel like if you're going to be in the yoga studio, you should pull it back and you should be doing like downward dog and a couple of yoga poses while you're doing your meditations. So
I'm actually in the children's center, which nobody's in here, but there's like a table I can set this.
Are there any family movies on the list? No, I can't.
No,
It's
kind of funny.
Family films.
Because it actually has a little table in here and there's a comfortable chair. Really, really comfortable chair.
Yeah.
Are you in your acting?
All right, Steven.
Yeah. Yeah, Steven.
And a plug-in.
Yeah. There you go.
I actually haven't seen this. I'm kind of waiting to see this so that I can go see this in a double bill with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. That'd be an awesome double feature for sure. Because they both have different dimensions and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, Steve, have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen it, and I agree with everything that Jordan has said. This is my favorite movie of the year. This blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And this is from the guys who made a movie about a farting corpse. The Swiss Army Man. If you guys ever seen it, go check that movie out. I really like that movie, and I really love this movie too. Michelle Yeoh delivering a career best performance. Ke-Huy Quan.
Ke-Huy Quan.
Yeah. That was close, you know. And delivering a hell of a comeback story. I mean, he's been working as an action coordinator for over 20 years, and this is his first movie back. And he picked up where God knows where he left off. And it has very different, like, you know, tributes. I was a big fan. I kind of geeked out when it was In the Mood of Love, of the way the Chinese actress multiverse that she was in. It was shot like In the Mood for Love, if you know what I mean. And I was like, let's go like that. And I mean, it's nuts. Now, you guys, I know, like we talked before this, that, you know, it's a bit long, but for me, I had no problems keeping my eyes glued on the screen. I didn't even look at my watch throughout this whole freaking movie. That's how great this movie was for me, and I was enthralled with it. I laughed. I cried. You know, and you see people like doing, and the funny thing of it is that to channel these skills, you have to do the most weirdest shit ever.
Yeah.
Hell, you even see some of these people stick something up their butt just to channel their kung fu energy, and the fact that it's blurred out in a rated R movie, that's blurred out. So there's like black or
it adds to it for me.
Pixelated. No, yeah, but you would think it's like, oh, shadows, you know, whatever. But I personally do believe it should belong in the S tier.
Yeah, the first scene where you see it Hui Kwan. I can't remember what he does. He like eats gum from the like table or just something kind of crazy like that. I'm like what's going on here? Why is he doing that? And then you find out as you go on the journey. I won't spoil anymore, but yeah, that's kind of you see some weird stuff like that. So, but Richie, what do you think? Have you seen it?
Haven't seen it yet. It's out here. Just haven't got around to watching it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Austin.
Look, this movie is not my favorite movie of the year, and I'll explain why. Look, I think this movie has a fantastic premise. I do think it has good performances. The action scenes are good, but to me, the problem I have with this movie is I think A24 convinced them to make this movie way longer than it should have been. There's enough material here for a fantastic hour and a half, hour and 40-minute movie, and they stretch it to 2 hours and 20 minutes. This movie is way too fucking long for the material that it has. So much so that I was absolutely exhausted by the end of it. I started literally falling asleep 2 hours in, and even though I was still with the movie, I was exhausted. Like it has all these great premises, and all this really intriguing stuff, but around the hour and 30-minute mark, it has like a scene that I feel like should have been a climax, like should have been a wrap up. And then I checked my phone and there was like 40 minutes left to go. And I was like, how the fuck are you going to stretch this 40 more minutes when like this is a perfect way to like wrap it up? This movie's way overindulgent. This movie is in love with itself. So again, I like the stuff that I saw. It's very good as far as like the choreography, the inventiveness of the ideas. But man, if this movie had been like an hour and a half, it would have been like an all-time banger. And at 2 hours and 20 minutes, I feel like it absolutely hurts the movie. Like in this case, and again, I have nothing against long movies if you can justify it, but this movie, a sci-fi action movie, that this is, where they're throwing 8 million things at you at once, should absolutely be like an hour and 40 minutes. Like for what they have. Like I was exhausted by the end of this movie. So for that, I will be somewhat generous and give it a B tier. But in all honesty, it's probably more like a C. But I will give it a B tier because that really hurt it. I felt the length of this one. Like I really felt the length of this one, and I was so done with this movie by the time it was over. Where if it had ended kind of where I thought it was going to end, I would have been like one of the best of the year. Boom. No problem, and it just kept going and going and going. It has more false endings than Return of the King. Honestly, it has like 4 false endings, and I was just done with it by the end. So I'll be generous and give it a B. But it's not S tier for me.
I think that some of the emotional beats at the very end, you do need them. Like if there's a way to push that up to like that hour and 40-minute mark or something, still have those.
That's what I'm saying. It goes on 40 minutes too long for the material that it has. It stretches this material, and it's like A24 like mandates all their movies to be like 2.5 hours when they don't need to be. So I just don't know why. But yeah, B tier for me. Sorry, that's just, I'm giving you my honest thoughts. I'm not with the internet on this one. I'm just not. So yeah.
What's fair? We have 2 S's and a C, so probably
and a B. I gave it a B. I gave it a B. I was generous, so I was a B.
Yeah.
So it's in gentleman territory. Yeah.
Behind gentleman.
That's right. Well, how many S's did the gentleman have?
No, technically, no. Gentleman had 2 S's and a C. I gave it a B. So everywhere goes above gentleman.
It's in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Steven.
But we'll decide at the end. We'll have a little debate. So, So Chris, you're up. So do you have one? Do you want to know?
Oh, I do. I was trying to think of what movie to kind of start off with. I mean, God, there's so many good movies. I'm going to go with Hardcore Henry. Actually,
all right.
This movie surprised the hell out of me. I kind of like didn't watch it in the beginning. Like it looks really, really stupid, and then one of my friends was like, "It's incredible." So we watched it, and I freaking loved it. And I dug the first person. I dug the twist at the end. It's absolutely an S tier movie for sure. The music is solid. The acting is amazing. The way they shot it is incredible. It definitely has an independent feel.
Jordan, I have a point of contention. Hardcore Henry is 2015. It should not be on this list.
Oh.
Is it 2015?
I'm on IMDb right now. Hardcore Henry is 2015.
Okay, well then I'm sorry. I put it on there.
Technicality.
My bad.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes though, IMDb we'll have something in a year, but it's really a
No, it's April.
Oh
8th,
yeah,
2016, Pez.
yeah.
Sorry,
April
guys,
7th,
it's my screw up then.
2016. No, you're right. It's April 7th, 2016. Because sometimes they go by like the
In
festival
Russia?
and when it first premiered, but
but when
yes,
you
it's
look it up on
Russia.
Google, it says 2015
It is.
also.
No, I got it.
2015.
United States, April 8th, 2016. I got it here.
Okay.
It's a 2016 movie.
Oh yeah, here it is, April 8th, 2016. Yep. Yeah, and that's actually on IMDb, April 8th, 2016. Yeah.
Never trust the years.
All right.
Yeah.
So then I'm safe.
Well, I feel like that would be contentious in a movie release stage trivia format, though.
Yeah. It's a little weird. I don't know why, but because I worked at a movie theater from 2015 to 2016, and it played while I worked there. I just don't know if it played in 15 or 16, but
no,
I think it's 16.
It premiered at Toronto in 2015, and then it made its South by Southwest Film Festival debut in 2016. So even though it's listed as 2015, it premiered in 2015 as Toronto, but it's actually a 2016 movie.
Yeah, we'll still talk about it. So yeah, go ahead,
fair
Chris.
Enough.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure.
We're okay then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, like I was saying, like I think it was an incredible movie. Surprised me. The writing was solid. The acting was amazing. I love the kind of the feel that you kind of felt like maybe you were him. It was one of those unique movies that surprised the hell out of me. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's an S-tier movie for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you think?
I haven't seen it. I'm not sure about the idea of doing an entire movie in first-person point of view. But I do want to eventually check it out.
Yeah. Steve, what do you think?
Despite all the contention that has been happening about which year had this movie been taking place, I unfortunately have not seen this movie.
Okay. Well, we'll see if enough people have even seen it, but what do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't call it an S tier. I like the concept behind it. I like the kind of the idea of doing like a Doom type thing. Maybe the movie Doom should have done that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I don't think it's S tier. It just gets a bit. I think like conceptually it's great, but like execution is not really that like wonderful. I checked out probably like halfway through this movie. It's not. I don't think it's like I know I've got pretty bad reviews. I don't think it's like terrible, but it's definitely not S tier to me. I think I would put it sort of C, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I saw this one in the theater. I have the Blu-ray. I really like this movie. I don't know if I go S tier, but this is just like a strong A tier for me. I think the concept is great. I think the execution and the way they did it is pretty freaking awesome. They took kind of that one scene in Doom where they actually do the first person thing, expanded it. But yeah, like I think all the action scenes, if we're talking about action movies, I think all the action scenes are really well choreographed and well shot. And yeah, it's kind of a video game come to life sort of, in this first person thing. But I think Charlton Copley playing a couple of different characters in this one is a lot of fun. And yeah, like, and it's got some nice little twisty stuff at the end. But strictly speaking, I think everything's well choreographed and well done. I would give this one a strong A. I like Hardcore Henry a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. So I would give it actually an A.
Yeah. Well, so I have seen it because I played it in theaters when I was working at a movie theater, and like I think that it was fine. I didn't really love it. Like I thought that the way that it was shot was actually really cool. I think it could have worked maybe better as like a VR experience. Maybe like you put on one of those VR headsets and kind of feel like you're actually like immersed in it, kind of. But I mean, it was still fun to see it on the big screen. I don't know. Like I just didn't love it as much as I thought that I would, but it was kind of hard for me to even place it here. Like, I'm not even sure because actually, so how I saw it, so our movie theater for a little while that they were trying out some new technology where I saw it in a theater where they had one theater in the front, and then on the sides they had two other screens. So it's like kind of like you're sitting kind of like in a U-shaped thing, and it's pretty cool because you can see like things going on off to the side. You can see that like some of the like bad guys kind of running at him from the sides and everything. So I feel like you're being attacked on all sides. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, like I probably got to give it maybe like a B, I think. Like I just didn't love it as much as I thought that I would. It just kind of like it's a cool premise. It just kind of could have been done maybe a little better. I don't know, but yeah, so B for me. So we got
we got
an A, a B, and a C.
Yeah, so it's either going to be A- or B+, somewhere right on the border. I don't know. We kind of give a little more leeway to the person who nominated, so I think maybe B+, maybe, or A-, or something. I don't know.
You can do an A-. I feel like we'd be generous. Since Chris was the one that actually gave it an S, we'll go closer to S. So
okay.
So yeah, we'll do that. But
thank you.
All right.
Yeah. But Steven, what do you?
All right, Steven, give me an S tier movie. Come on, give me an S tier movie. Let me see what you think.
Yeah.
Come on, give me one that's a banger. Come on. See what you got.
All right. I'll
pressure, no pressure.
Yeah. No pressure.
I will go with Skyscraper. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say. Whoa.
I mean, I like Skyscraper, but it's not S tier. I'll go with Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Mission Impossible Fallout. All right.
Yeah.
So
that just.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think I do think that's S tier. It's it's not my favorite in the franchise, but I still absolutely love it. The fight scene in the bathroom with Cruise and Henry Cavill is awesome. The scene when he jumps from zero gravity in the air, that's a great scene. Henry Cavill, I mean, I don't know if we should be going in spoilers or not, but Henry Cavill is great in his part.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a lot of fun, and it's very exciting, and
I'd say maybe for these newer ones, we'll keep it fairly spoiler free, but maybe once we get like before 2010 or something, we can talk spoilers more. But yeah, Steve, what do you think?
You're muted.
Yeah, I know. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, this absolutely belongs in the S tier. This is probably one of the best action movies of the last 2010s, and probably the best Mission Impossible movie of all time since Ghost Protocol. So Henry Cavill, Angela Bassett, Alec Baldwin, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson, even the bad guy from the previous movie is back for this one. So this one it's absolute banger. Still waiting for Mission Impossible 7, even though it's been delayed for the 5th fucking time. But I'm looking forward to the next Mission Impossible, and I do believe this belongs in the S tier. So yes, I agree.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Richie,
what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like lately, if you're Tom Cruise, like the world just doesn't, the universe doesn't want you to release a movie. But yeah, it's just unfortunate with the delays. But yeah, look, you redeemed yourself a little bit, Stephen. I still haven't forgiven you. I won't forget it. But I've forgiven you a little bit. You redeemed yourself because Fallout is great. Fallout is amazing. Tom Cruise is the man doing all those stunts. But yeah, it's like I think I love how the franchises builds on each other and becomes really good. And like I wouldn't after maybe considering how the second one was, I didn't think I would be saying, oh yeah, I can't wait for the Mission Impossible 7. But this movie is great. So yes, it's definitely an S tier.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think still to this day, my favorite installment is still Ghost Protocol, just personally, just because I like how kind of cool that movie is, some of the set pieces. But that doesn't take anything away from Fallout. I rewatched it again fairly recently. It's excellent. I love these movies because of how much practical stuff there is in there. Tom Cruise legitimately being a madman and doing all this stuff for real, learning how to fly a helicopter for this one, hanging from those ropes in the helicopter in those scenes. Just being an absolutely crazy person. All that stuff is excellent. Like I said, him doing actual, those sky jumps. He actually did that like a dozen times to get the real shots. All that stuff is real, which is crazy. And yeah, even that fight scene in the bathroom with Henry Cavill is badass and a lot of fun. Just as another straight Mission Impossible heisty action movie, it's still one of the best of the series. So I'd agree with S tier, absolutely.
Yeah, like I think that these Mission Impossible movies, I just get more and more excited with every installment, at least for me, because it's like you see one and you're like, man, that was so good. Like, there's no way that they can top it. And then the next one comes out, and you're like, holy crap, they topped it. Like, I don't know.
It's like the Fast and the Furious movies, but in a smart, good way, and like in a better way. Like they get better because they're actually like good.
Fun and interesting way. Yeah. So like I'm really glad that Christopher McQuarrie stayed on to direct these movies. I think Tom Cruise really likes working with him, and I've been kind of following close. They had CinemaCon this last week, so I've been following some of the people on YouTube that are doing coverage of it, and I heard that there's a little clip from the next movie, but we'll watch it. Not so much a clip, but like a little message from Tom Cruise is what it was. So you have him on top of this biplane, and then he's just standing there without any harness, without anything, just on the top of this plane. And then you see this other plane just pull up next to it, and it's Christopher McQuarrie on top of the other one. And it's like, hey, guys, just want to give you a message from for CinemaCon. We're hard at work filming here, and like blah, blah, blah. And like he does his little spiel, and then they're like, well, we got to go here. We'll see you later. And then the plane just like dips and like turns to the side, and you see him kind of slide down off it. And then you see him go down through some kind of canyon or something. Is like how they described it. So like it seems pretty crazy. Like these stunts, and like that's not even close to like the big stunt pieces. I mean, you can find images online if you want to look them up at like what the big stunt set piece might be if you want to do that. But yeah, like that's one of the things though that like makes it fun. Like that you always watch for, like these huge stunts. That like there's a thing where like Tom Cruise he like broke his ankle or something like that, and they left it in the movie of him jumping from building to building, and yeah. So I'm probably in the camp also where Ghost Protocol is probably my favorite of the series, but I mean this one's right up there. So yeah, I'll say S tier for Fallout. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Chris may have had, but he switched to his phone, so he might be having some connection issues. So we'll come back to him. In a minute. Because he was having some issues. So, but we'll move on to right now to Mesa, and we'll come back around to Chris's thoughts on Fallout. So I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But Steve Mesa, what do you want to nominate next?
I want to nominate Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah.
Messenger audio.
Oh
no, Chris, we're not going to answer your phone call.
No, not live on the show when he's calling the group chat. Yeah.
Nah, buddy.
What are you? What is he, Richie? What does he think he is? Come on now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you said Spider-Man. Which one?
No Way Home.
Okay,
yes.
No Way Home. So that's here. All right.
This was a journey, personally for me. As this movie, this was something that we've, at least I believe, all Spider-Man fans have been dying to be watching, especially after all the rumors were confirmed once the movie happened, and that's the fact that we get to see more than one Spider-Man. We get to see, at this point, I'm going to say it, so spoiler alert. So yes, we freaking see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. They're back. Okay, so they're back. You also got Doc Ock. You got also the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. You have Electro coming back too. I mean, different look, but they retcon what didn't work the last time, but it is what it is. But yeah, and then you also have certain things that remind you of the old trilogy too. That haunting words with great power comes great responsibility, comes back to haunt Peter, literally. And kind of launches him in sort of a mood that kind of gets him in a different mood that he would have been if circumstances didn't happen to him. I'll leave that as for another time. But I believe this is one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time. I put that up with 2 and Into the Spider-Verse, and I really enjoy this movie, and I think everybody got enjoyed what they got out of this movie. So I think this belongs in the S tier.
Yeah. That sounds good. So we'll just keep going, and we get back to Chris. You can give your thoughts on Mission Impossible Fallout.
On this and Fallout. Yeah, we'll get your thoughts on both of them when we come around.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
The spider. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Do you have to switch your phone, like you said?
Yeah, I had to switch to my phone fully.
All right. Well,
Gotcha.
No worries. We're hearing you good. So, but
All right,
Richie, what do you think?
Yeah. I really like this movie. Maybe not as much as like maybe other people do, but I do think it's a very solid movie. And then seeing all the different Spider-Man, it was kind of it was kind of a dream. It was fantastic. But and this movie is great. I personally probably would have said will say A, but I understand why it says so.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
I'm in the same camp as Richie. I have not been the biggest fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I have not made that a secret on these shows. So this one is easily the best of them just because he's actually miserable Spider-Man in this movie, which is he's finally Spider-Man after 3 goddamn movies. So, it took a while to get there. And seeing Toby and Andrew helps. As an action film, which is what we are discussing, I think this one has pretty good action at best. I don't think there's anything that super stands out other than the fight with the various villains in the apartment where they kind of where something happens major that I won't spoil, but where they're tearing up the apartment pretty good. I think that's the best pure action action scene of the movie. So as an action film, I think there are better Marvel action films available on this list, and I might bring one of them up in a minute with better action scenes. So for that, I'm going to put it in the A tier, like Richie.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's no secret that I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. He's my favorite comic book hero, and this movie, it blew me away. And I feel like it was one of the movies that kind of helped people kind of come out of the pandemic as far as people wanting to go back to the theaters and stuff, because that made a crap ton of money when we were still in the midst of a pandemic. And just seeing all those 3 Spider-Mans together was just amazing, and no pun intended, and I do think too that a lot of people that are just kind of lukewarm for the Amazing Spider-Man, even Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, and there's nobody that says they weren't happy to see him back. So it kind of gives me a pretty good feeling for the next kind of a few movies that are going to have some multiverse stuff, to see who might be showing up, maybe from some past movies. Makes me feel okay that if they bring back even characters that people weren't super high on, it's like Marvel's really good at doing rewrites and kind of giving better storylines, better dialogue, better things for these characters to do. So I think that what they did here was just really great, and also kind of like Austin said, near the end, they kind of make him back to miserable Spider-Man, and that's what I'm excited for, because that's the Spider-Man from all the comic books that I read growing up, from the Spider-Man the animated series, all that stuff, where he just can't catch a break, and he can't let people know who he is because he has to protect his identity, all that kind of stuff. I'm super excited for the next installment to see what they're going to do with this character. So yeah, I gotta say S tier for sure. Yeah. Chris, what do you think for Fallout? You can give your thoughts for Mission Impossible Fallout, because you were gone for that one, and for Spider-Man No Way Home.
All right, guys. So first off, Mission Impossible Fallout. I don't know how echo it is. It sounds really echoey here because I'm in this room. But
it's a little echoey, but it's not terrible.
Okay, not terrible articles. I can just move out of the main gym area and sit on a piece of equipment. It's literally an empty gym right now. The Mission Impossible movies just keep getting better and better. Like, I don't know how it is that they're able to top it, but they do. I think maybe it's the stunts, it's the writing, it just and how they include these characters in there. The addition of Henry Cavill, as several people mentioned earlier, was amazing. Sort of the juxtaposition with him and Cruise's character. It is an amazing movie. Absolutely S tier. These movies are solid, and I seriously cannot wait for the next one.
Yep.
Now, with that, absolutely S tier. Which looks like most people agreed with me on that one.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man No Way Home, absolutely freaking phenomenal Spider-Man movie. I have a Spider-Man ring. I know I showed it off earlier, but I am a huge Spider-Man fan. Tom Holland, as far as I'm concerned, is the closest to the comic books. And I have so many Spider-Man comic books because I was lucky to grow up like around McKay's books. So like this is the version of Spider-Man. I know a lot of people disagree. Like even a close friend of mine is like, no, he's not. And I disagree. He is perfect as Spider-Man. And this movie just blew it away from the inclusion, as you said, the three of them. And just the way they did it. I'm trying not to spoil it because I know that even though we've seen it, I know there are still some people that have not seen it. And it's phenomenal. It's absolutely a must see in theaters. And I'm glad I got to see it on the big screen for sure.
Yeah. Well, sounds good. It sounds like it's going to stay in S tier. So is Mission Impossible Fallout. So no change there. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Do I get the nominated movie now? I guess too.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Was it his turn yet? Because I think we skipped.
No,
over.
we were up to Richie. Where did Richie go?
Okay.
Did he drop out?
Oh, well, we were up to Richie. He just dropped out, but
lost his connection. Oh shit, we're all over the place here. But no, Mesa nominated Spider-Man, right? So yeah. Okay,
I wasn't trying to assume here.
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
No.
Well, we'll see if Richie is able to get back on. He might have been having some issues.
We'll go back to Richie when he comes back, but if you have one, Austin, you can go.
All right, again, I'm talking action here, which is why I put Spider-Man at A tier, because the actual S tier Marvel action film that's purely even the best of the best as far as the action scenes go, for me, is Avengers Infinity War. Has the best action of the two, and even of the better of the back half of these Marvel movies. So Infinity War, because if you break it down, it not only has more, but every single one of them is really solid. You've got the stuff in the beginning, with the raid on the spaceship. You got the street scene with Tony and Doctor Strange versus Ebony Maw and all them on there. It just each one successive action scene builds to a bigger set piece to where eventually you get to the fight on Titan with Thanos, with the Guardians and Iron Man and all them going against Thanos, which that is a fantastic scene overall. And then the actual climax, Wakanda is great with climaxing with Bring Me Thanos. So I think actually the best pure action Marvel film, way more memorable action than Spider-Man No Way Home, in my opinion, is Avengers Infinity War when you break it down. So that is my nomination for my Marvel S tier for this one.
Yeah. I would tend to agree. Like, as an overall movie, I like Spider-Man No Way Home better than Infinity War for me personally. But for pure action, you're right. Like the action, it's just there's more of it, and it's kind of done a little better. But I mean, what's done in No Way Home done really, really well too. I just think that it's kind of just apples and oranges, kind of splitting the hairs here. And I think maybe that it kind of, for me, did just slightly a little better than No Way Home, and Infinity War is great. Like they set up some really cool things that like by the end you're kind of back to that like core kind of group of Avengers and yeah, like it's just kind of nonstop action from beginning to end pretty much. So I mean, really getting any time to even breathe. So yeah, I'll say S tier. Yeah, easy. So Chris, what do you think?
I mean, Infinity War for me was I'm gonna be the weird one. Like I thought it was all right, but I didn't love Infinity War like everyone else did. It was decent. It was pretty good, but I don't feel like I loved it as much as everyone else did. And I feel like it got a lot of hype, and maybe that was it because it took. I think I saw it later in its run, so I got to hear like all the like, oh my gosh, the greatest movie in the world. So for that reason, I'd probably give it an A. It is definitely not S for me, and it's definitely not Spider-Man No Way Home for me.
Well, it could have been like a lot of people. Maybe you went in with like really high expectation, and maybe they didn't quite reach your expectations. You know, right? But,
yes, exactly.
And also, if we're talking my like right out of the theater experience, I actually hated this movie. Like right out of the theater, I'd give it like a C or a D. But then I've rewatched it, and I've actually come to appreciate it and actually love it. So maybe if we give it a few rewatches, you might like it a little more, maybe. But yeah. But Steven, what do you think?
It's in my top 2 MCU. I think there is one that's I like, even as far as the action goes, that I like slightly more, but I would still say it's S tier. Yeah, the action scenes are great. It's a really well directed movie because you've got all of these storylines and characters that the movie has to juggle, and they juggle it very well. None of them ever feel like one gets more than the other. And as far as the ending goes, well, once a few key characters disappear, I knew that they were all obviously coming back. So I wasn't quite as wowed by the ending as most, but I still think it's a great movie. Thanos is a great villain, and I would still go with S.
Yeah. Steve, what do you think?
Muted.
Sorry, dogs trying to get in my room, so I had to mute it and everything.
They wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, no, yeah, but no, I'm like paranoid. Like, oh, what? Did they hear me? Okay. Yeah, for sure. I believe Avengers Infinity War does belong in the S tier. For the fact that it is a monumental game changer. It has changed what we thought as the MCU. It's changed the course of MCU. Certain characters are no longer with us because of the Infinity War. There's certain people who have passed away. There's certain reactions to the actions that have occurred in this movie that has reflected upon what we've seen in the shows and the upcoming MCU movies, and the fact that they basically they pulled the trigger and basically almost killing, spoiler alert, killing half the cast in this movie. It's you just left jaw dropped that the bad guys actually won it. And I don't think bad guys hasn't won a big scale movie such as this one since The Empire Strikes Back, and it just leaves you dejected, but in somewhat of a good way, because you kind of had this unpredictable thing happen, and having that happen, it's a rare thing for movies like that to happen in something like that. So for the unpredictable factor, for the great action sequence, for the great character moments, I do believe it belongs in the S tier.
Yeah.
Richie?
Yeah, sorry guys. I went to unmute myself and I clicked the wrong button.
Okay.
So yeah,
I've done it, so don't worry.
We'll come back to you for a nomination after this, so we'll let you nominate after this. No problem.
I'm in Austin's camp where I like this better than Endgame. So yeah, and like it's phenomenal. Like Steve said, it like sort of changed the course of of the trajectory of the Marvel films. But yeah, like for the better. It's a fantastic film. So yeah, S is where it should be.
Yeah. I'm Austin. What do you think? Oh yeah. You nominated.
I nominated the movie.
Yeah.
It's all good. All right, so there you go.
Go back to Richie.
And we'll go back to Richie since Richie clicked himself out for a second. What would you want to nominate?
All right. There's a couple I'm thinking of. I'm gonna go just because there's much more action than the other one I was thinking of. I'm gonna go Kingsman. I think Kingsman is fantastic. We talked about it a lot in this
Kingsman,
channel,
the Golden Circle, to be specific.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, the
first Kingsman was 2015,
right.
So it'll be in our other episode. So if you want to switch it, it's up to you.
No.
You can do
scrap that.
You can do the Golden Circle.
I'm having a moment. No.
We'll talk about the Secret Service on the next show. Yeah.
Sorry.
The one that's on here
is a senior moment. It's okay.
in that case, go to my next. I think it's on the yes on the list. I'm gonna vote for The Nice Guys. I think then.
Okay.
It's right
there you go.
The Nice Guys is a fan. It surprised the hell out of me. Shane Black's like the writing is fantastic. The chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe is like off the charts. It's just and Angourie Rice, Australian, is really good in this movie. It's just it's a fantastic movie. I don't know. I will say I don't know compared to others like how really much action there is to it, but there is. It's definitely it's sort of like more if you're I guess comedy action. There's a decent amount of action in it, but it's not. But maybe as heavy as the other ones. But I do just for a pure entertainment factor. I think it deserves S tier. But yeah, all right. So yeah, The Nice Guys.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think for The Nice Guys?
So let me explain where I'm going to go with this one. So I nominated it for S tier when we did the comedies from that decade because I really like The Nice Guys. For this show, I'm going to nominate The Nice Guys for not an action movie because it's not an action movie.
I can see why.
I think it's more of a comedy noir mystery thriller sort of a thing because I can't really recall a single standout action scene from this movie. I don't think there's that much actual action in it. I think there's like one or two little mini shootouts, but there's nothing that would even come close to any of the action of the other ones we've got in the S tier right now. So, and I can't really recall much at all, really. I think it's mostly comedic thriller situations. So my vote is going to go to not an action movie for The Nice Guys.
Yeah. For me, I think that I'll still consider an action movie. Because on IMDb, it says action comedy, but it's not to say that that's the end all be all. I mean, yeah, but Nice Guys is great though. I probably saw The Nice Guys like 3 times on theaters. Like it's just so good. And yeah, like you talk about great chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, and there's so many just like really fun scenes. Like I always talk about the scene where they're walking in front of this. Well, they're driving in front of this house, and they see a kid like on a bike talking about he has a big dick or something, and like they're having to bribe him to get answers out of him and stuff, but yeah, like as far as action goes, like it's very like minimal, but I think there's enough there. I like seeing Russell Crowe is going around breaking people's arms. Does it to Ryan Gosling in the movie, and also Ryan Gosling's one of those actors that's like quickly like moving up my favorite actors list because he makes me like movies that like I never thought that I would even go near, like a La La Land or like The Notebook or Blue Valentine. Some of those movies that I would never even think about, but then he's in it and he makes it great. And he did the same thing here because this is one that like I was kind of like maybe on the fence about. I wasn't sure, and man, like I was all in. So, but probably just because we're talking action here and like it's just minimal on it. Like normally, like it's an S tier movie in any other sense, but I'm gonna say A here just because I don't remember a ton of action, but I remember enough to make it barely squeak in. So I'll say A. But Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to say not an action movie. There's not really. I don't like Austin. I mean, this movie's enjoyable, but I don't remember any real like solid.
I don't remember a single action set piece from this movie. I don't recall a single one. Not a single one. To put it in the S tier to me is baffling for an action show. To me, it's baffling.
It's not an action movie.
But just some hand-to-hand stuff is all I really think of. Yeah, but
but that's a sequence. That's not a. Like John Wick. That's not like nobody. That's not
to put it in the same tier as John Wick and like Infinity War on action movies. To me, it's kind of baffling. I brought it down to A. To me, is a little astounding. Just me personally, I'm just trying to make my arguments. That's all.
Yeah,
if you disagree, that's fine. But I'm making my argument.
Well, some people maybe even wouldn't consider Everything Everywhere All at Once an action movie, really. So
that has more action than Nice Guys. Clearly has way more action than the Nice Guys.
Yeah, But Steven, what do you think?
I like The Nice Guys a lot. It's very funny. It's got I think it I haven't seen the movie since it was in theaters, but I remember it having some decent action in it. I wouldn't go S tier. I'd probably go A tier. There is a movie with Ryan Gosling that I think is worthy of S tier that I don't think is on the list actually, but yeah, I would go A tier for The Nice Guys.
Yeah, I think I might know where you're going. Maybe we could have included it, but but Steve, what do you think?
Not an action movie.
All right.
Even if it was an action movie, I'll be the perfectly honest person. This movie was trash.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. All right. Well, usually if you get at least 3 for not an action movie, I think that it goes there. So yeah, not an action. We got 3 votes.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah.
Put it there. Yep. Yeah. Yep. So so is it me next?
Jordan. Yeah, Jordan's up. Sorry, the order got a little wonky, but yes, we're back to Jordan. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with one that's a pretty obvious pick. If you know me, I got to go with Logan. So it's my favorite movie of all time. So like it's an obvious, easy S for me, and I think that this movie just blows me away in like so many different ways. From the performance of Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, then you have the portrayal of like old man Logan, the way that it's kind of almost like a modern Western in a lot of ways. Then you have Daphne Keane too. She kicks ass. That like she's one of my like favorite new actresses to watch. Like I even watched that series on HBO with her and James McAvoy on there. And it's even fun seeing Stephen Merchant on there as a character. My only criticism that I can ever think to have about this movie, they kind of dropped the ball as far as the villain goes. The villain's kind of just like a lackluster villain, as a lot of Marvel movies do. But this one's kind of outside of the MCU, but it's still great. Just the journey that they go on. You even see Logan fighting version of himself with X-23 or X-24, and I think it is, and it becomes kind of like a father figure to Daphne Keene's character, and they're just like lines and just like things that just really blow me away. I never thought that I would get emotional and like be near crying in a movie like this, but it surprised me. So yeah, I'm gonna say S tier absolutely for Logan. So Chris, what do you think?
I love Logan. I think it's it has heartfelt moments, but it also has a ton of action. Like from beginning to end, it's intense. I definitely choked up in this movie. It's absolutely an S tier action movie for sure.
Yeah, and it's also R-rated the way that a freaking Wolverine movie needs to be. I mean, it doesn't need to be. Yeah.
It needs to be.
I mean, but
it needs to be. Let's not.
But it makes it like
around
that much better that you can see him just really like slicing guys up, and you see all the blood and gore and all that stuff. So yeah, but Steven, what do you think?
I would go A tier. Yeah, when I first saw this movie in theaters, oh wait, I don't remember if I saw it in theaters or not, but, but when I first saw the movie, I probably would have gone more B tier, but it's grown on me. I like it a lot more now. Maybe I don't quite love it as much as most people, but I do think it's a very good movie. Although I won't go into spoilers, but there is a character that dies about halfway through the movie that I didn't like the way they killed him.
Yeah.
But the ending is great. So yeah, A tier for Logan for me.
Yeah. Well, Steve, what do you think for Logan?
Oh, S-ray.
Come on. With your
I'm
brain. S. Come on.
Yes.
I'm gonna say. You know what? I think we'll put it in the S because I don't think we'll have an X-Men movie in the S tier. So I'm gonna put this on the S here. Yes, this was emotional as get. This was gory as it should have been in the last three. The Wolverine should have been rated R, but that's a whole different story. We'll talk about that when that happens. But yeah, this is the Logan movie X-Men fans have been dying to watch. And by God, did Hugh Jackman go off with a huge bang on this movie. This is probably top five Jackman performances, top five Patrick Stewart performances, and that ending though, whoa,
Yeah.
that kicks you right in the emotional balls.
Yeah.
And the fact that James Mangold scored a Oscar nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay shows you that still
Oscar nominated.
these comic book movies are being allowed into the that Scorsese's full of shit, that he doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
Yeah.
Comic movies being artistic, because comic book movies can be artistic. It just has to be handled with the
He was talking about MCU movies. He didn't talk about Logan, but that's a whole other discussion
Yeah,
for another
but
time. He wasn't
you know
talking about
when
comic movies in general.
No, but
And I
when
kind of agree with him on some
I-
of those points. But
Well, but
anyways,
he generalizes comic book movies as MCU movies. For him, he's an old man. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But
That's what I got.
yes. So I'm gonna go with yes, S tier Logan.
Yeah. Richie, what do you think for Logan?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite sort of comic book movies. Yeah, and I am sort of hovering between S and A as well, just because I don't know. I guess like I really like like I think that sort of the action's good, really good, but like I think that what I sort of took away from it is not like that's just like the chemistry between him and Daphne King and just the emotional gravity of the situation. So yeah, like as an action movie, I'd probably go A.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
I'm on that border as well because it's still I haven't gone back to Logan for whatever reason. It just I don't know. I didn't feel like it was super watchable. Well, no, I mean, there's 2 or 3 other ones I go back to a lot in the X-Men franchise. This isn't one of them. I still think it's good. I think the action in it is very solid. Just because, again, it's not one of my favorites, and I haven't gone back to it. That rewatchability just isn't there for me. I'm going to say A tier, but I do like Logan. So
yeah.
So it's a 3 and 3. It's 3 S's and 3 A's. So
maybe they'll
right
make the S tier, but just be at the bottom of S tier.
Yeah, we'll see.
About right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll go back to Chris. You got another one you want to nominate?
I want to nominate Unhinged Okay.
Yeah.
So Unhinged was my
The really
first.
cool poster that I found. Where is it? It looks like the
Nightmare on Elm Street poster at the
Okay.
bottom.
Yeah, so
Okay,
that's actually
so
Unhinged with a bunch of
Unhinged was
hammers.
my
So.
first time back to theaters, my first movie I saw in theaters after everything. And it blew me away. It is definitely not a movie I've gone back to because it's a hard movie to watch, but it's definitely nonstop insanity from beginning to end. Unbelievable performances from everyone involved. It's a freaking phenomenal movie. I'm glad I got to see it on the big screen, and I do own it on Blu-ray. It's
Nice.
a incredible movie. It's absolutely an S tier movie. Yeah.
Ooh,
Getting
okay.
that it grabs you by the throat and chokes you to death, basically.
Yeah. Well, Steven, what do you think for Unhinged?
I haven't seen it. I was kind of surprised to see it on the list though, because it didn't look like an action movie
Oh, it
from the
is.
trailers.
It is.
Well, then we'll go to Steve. What do you think?
Haven't seen it.
Okay. We'll see what enough of have even seen it. Richie?
I haven't seen it, but I'm glad I'm keeping it brief because I want to hear Austin's take.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. Austin?
Look, this movie is here. It's an S tier red box movie. Which in the pantheon of action films in general is like a B- at best, because it's an S tier one you'd find at the red box.
No.
Look, it's fine. It's at best a B- overall. Look, it feels like it's one step above like a direct to VOD movie. Look, it's fine. Russell Crowe is definitely doing something in this movie. He's trying to do like Michael Douglas falling down kind of stuff. It's interesting. It's got some decent car chase stuff in it. But again, top of the tier red box stuff is like B- in real life. So I'll be generous and give it a B. I'll be generous.
I have to kind of read him about because the poster put me off so much that I didn't realize I have seen this movie.
Yeah, why did you do some stupid ass like
when you mentioned Russell Crowe?
Not a stupid poster. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you mentioned Russell Crowe, I'm like, yeah, I have seen this movie. I watched it. It was one of the first movies I saw, and like, you know,
the Russell Crowe road rage, falling down type movie.
I think this movie is like better than I thought it was going to be, and like, you know, like I think like he's good as a villain, but I wouldn't call it S tier. It was better than I thought. Maybe I'd be generous and say a C. I thought it was. I thought it was just going to be complete trash, and it wasn't that. So that's kind of a step up. But,
yeah.
Sure.
Well, that's fair. But yeah, we can't tell. I'm getting a little tired of these cookie cutter poster with a Photoshop with like a bunch of like every character on there. So I was trying to go for some more unique posters. But yeah. I have seen Unhinged and like I'm not exactly sure where I want to rank it. I'm not going to rank it S. I'll just say that. But it's a good movie. Like because like Russell Crowe in the movie like he's just relentless. He just keeps going after this lady in her car that cut her off or whatever. Just going and like he will not stop. Like it's just crazy. So. Every time I'm in traffic, I always think about that. Like, am I getting another like unhinged person coming after me, and like just like want to try and kill me because I freaking like cut him off. So I was and like thinking of Russell Crowe, but yeah, like it's kind of like a B for me. Yeah, and like I kind of think and like it's good, and like I would go back and I would watch it again, but like it's no S, so I got to say B. So, but we have an S.
All right, so an S, two B's, and a C. So that B tier is looking pretty solid for Unhinged.
Yeah.
That empty B tier.
To be. It's okay.
Yeah, but we'll go over to Steven. You got another one you want to nominate?
I don't know how this is gonna go because you guys might think that we have too many comic book movies on this list.
Yes.
And I can understand
Yes.
thinking.
Nah.
But I gotta go with it because it's my favorite movie of the MCU, and I think the action scenes are fantastic, especially the third act. But also all of the stuff involving the time travel stuff in the middle of the movie, and that's
fuck.
and that's Avengers,
Yeah.
and that's Avengers Endgame. I think Avengers
great.
Endgame deserves to be S tier.
Yeah. Sounds good. Do you have anything that you want to say, or is that good? I was just gonna say.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, Steve, what do you think for Avengers Endgame?
Definitely not S tier. It just basically it was enjoyable for what it was. Basically, a long form Back to the Future movie. But the thing of it undoes everything, and I understand why. It does undoes everything that happened in the previous movie,
Yeah,
and it
you
just
knew it was going to do
it
that,
feels
right?
like more. It
Yeah.
feels like cheap.
You already knew it going in.
Cheap shot in what was delivered to the audience, and I don't feel like the journey that they went on in this movie was well deserved for the story that was told in the previous movie. I mean, I enjoy it, but I don't think it belongs in the S tier. If I had to pick, I would put it in the B tier.
Ooh, B.
But I will say, the minute Black Panther and Spider-Man disappeared, you knew all of them were coming back.
I know, but the journey that they
it's poor and lazy. It's lazy executions. Yeah. It's in a minute.
I'd say that Infinity War was lazy, but anyways, that's just me. But
wow, fucking great! The best villain since fucking Darth Vader.
You erase characters you already know are coming back. What's the point of it? Don't do that. Just like do something else with it. It's like, come on. But anyways, Richie,
yeah, I mean, kind of Chris prefaces. I mean, Stephen prefaces when before he nominated Avengers Endgame that we got too many comic book movies in the S tier. We do. I think it can't just be a comic book thing. Otherwise, it'd just be comic book tier rank. But I for Infinity War more. Avengers Endgame is fine. It's just not it's not the combination that I sort of wanted. I guess it's a decent movie. I would go A, but it's not an S tier movie.
I would say though, don't just knock it because it's too many comic book movies. That's not realistic.
I would never put it in S tier.
Yeah. Okay. But Austin, what do you think?
I've made it no secret. I'm in the camp of I don't think Endgame quite works. I think there's things that are okay about it. There's some very lazy storytelling in this movie. I think the fact that Tony Stark goes home and stares at something for like an hour and comes up with time travel is fucking lazy. And I think it tells me they had no idea of how to do it. A rat, bringing Ant-Man back, by pressing a button is fucking lazy. I just think the time travel is handled pretty horribly. And even as an action movie, there's like no action for this movie for like 2 hours. There's honestly, I think it's way too long. It takes forever to get there. The action set piece at the end is fun, but it's also very jumbled and kind of messy, especially for a Russo brothers movie. So there's a lot going on, and I don't think any of it's particularly super standout. And the movie doesn't have a villain. You have an inferior version of Thanos. I've made this known. This movie gets worse every time I see it. Actually, it ages poorly for me. Every time I've gone back to it, it gets worse. So I for a while was in the B territory, and I'm solidly in the C territory for this one now. I think it's mid-level Marvel at best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm going to say that it deserved to be an S tier because. Like, you already know that it's a part 2. You know that like everything that was in Infinity War was predictable, and you know what's going to happen. You know they're all going to come back. you know all of that. So you know that you're still going to have Thanos as the villain, and then the huge action scene where they're fighting him is like one of the best action scenes I've ever seen in a movie in my entire life. Like I think that it's an incredible action set piece. It's just massive on a huge scale, especially like my favorite pure moment. Well, one of them in the MCU is seeing Captain America wield the Mjolnir. Like I think that's a really cool scene. When you see them all come back through the portals, even though you knew it was going to happen, it was still like a fun moment to see. And I still get emotional when you see spoiler alert, because I think most people have already seen it. But when you see Tony Stark died, like it's still like I get a little emotional, even though I've seen it 5 or 6 times. Like it, and yeah, like, and also too, like you have to kind of think that it's a comic book movie, so there's a lot of convenient things that just happen. You have to kind of just turn your brain off and just have fun with what it is. I mean, comic book movies that they just happen because they're just come up with whatever reason they want it to happen. Like it's not a realistic movie. It's not supposed to be grounded. It's not like, it's just like having some rat just come out and then poof, you have Ant-Man out of the quantum realm or whatever, or Tony Stark just inventing time travel. Like maybe we could have gone a little more context. Maybe like just don't make it seem like he invented it in a day, maybe. But like he's a smart guy. Maybe he's been working on some stuff for a while. We don't know. They just didn't explain it very well. So I will say that maybe they could have put a little more context. And I will say that my only other criticism is what they did to the Hulk in this movie too. They like really dumbed him down. They made him into like Professor Hulk, and he's like sitting there like working in a coffee shop doing dabs and taking selfies with like fans and all that kind of stuff. It's like, what are we doing here? Like that part was annoying to me. But like besides that though, I still think there deserves to be in the Esther, because everything else about it I loved. I had a fun time, even like when they actually did the time travel stuff and actually went back, all the stuff that they do to kind of give some characters some fun payoffs and stuff. I think that was fun. So yeah, I'll say S tier for Endgame. So yeah. But Chris, what do you think?
Austin, I never thought I'd be repeating exactly what you said, Ben, but I like Infinity War. I don't love Infinity War, but I like it, and I'm okay that is an S tier. But this movie's just all right. I mean, I've gone back and since watching it, I'm like, yeah, when Tony, as you said, spoiler, is gone, it's definitely heartfelt, but I don't know like straight up action, and I think that's my problem. Like, it has its moments, and that is one action scene at the end. And yeah, is it epic? Sure. But is it an action movie? No. Mm-hmm. Is it an all right movie? Yeah. But I would put it in C. Because on watches again, I'm like, it's all right. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't hate these movies. They're fun. I'm glad we get to see these heroes in existence, But to a degree, I would disagree with you, Jordan, only because the Russo brothers, yes, while these are kind of fantastical and while they're kind of comic book, they've still somehow managed to ground these characters. Even if
somewhat. Yeah.
But yeah, somewhat. But it's definitely not as good as the other movies on this thing. And it definitely does not belong in S tier.
Mm-hmm.
Not
all right.
The other movies.
Yeah.
It has one action sequence, and for one action sequence, it does not belong.
There's some action sequence when they go back in time. There's a few other action sequences, I would say, but where are the votes at? We're all over the place here. So
2 S's, an A, a B, and 2 C's. It actually has worse scores than Hardcore Henry, so it's going to be like an A minus.
Oh man, that is sad. Yeah, like
yeah,
worse than Hardcore Henry. Yeah, guys. All right, that.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather watch Hardcore Henry. I think it's more rewatchable than Endgame.
No way, that movie will give me motion sickness. It's like, get out of here. But anyways, whose turn is it now? I'm all thrown off now.
Steve, yeah.
Steve? Yeah. Okay, what do you want to nominate?
I will say this is probably going to be our last regular round, and then we're going to go into the Hail Mary round. So just maybe get your look at the list in the private chat and get your nominations ready for the last chance round.
I think because I dipped out accidentally, I don't have the thing in the private chat anymore. I don't know.
Oh, you don't?
Okay.
No.
I can send it to you. Just like
guys, this is a get your shit in match. Guys, get your shit in, okay?
Yeah. I can send it to you.
Just send it to me in
group. I'll just post it there.
Yeah. But no, we're gonna finish out this round, but just start getting your nominations ready for the last chance thing. That's all.
I have a lot.
So I got one last big one in my pocket. I got another movie that I want to do. It's another comic book movie, and I think it's eventually what we're going to talk about. We're talking about the Batman. This is not an MCU movie. We're talking about a DC movie, an actual good DCU movie.
Yes.
Batman. This is the best live-action Batman since The Dark Knight. This has a director who has had his hands in other franchises, Planet of the Apes, and shows his expertise and plants those experiences into another franchises, and he probably can succeed, especially with the announcement of the second one being announced during CinemaCon. So the fact that we also got that, we got Robert Pattinson as a very different version of Bruce Wayne, and despite what some criticism would be, it's a unique and, in my opinion, very good version of Bruce Wayne. He makes more of a better Batman than Bruce Wayne, but we'll have more movies for that to elaborate. Michael Giacchino score, chef's kiss. It's very, very. The score is top notch. It's memorable. Supporting characters range from Colin Farrell as the Penguin. You have John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. You have Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. The list goes on and on and on in terms of just great supporting performances. And Paul Dano as the Riddler. I think one of the best cinematic Batman villains we've had in a while since Heath Ledger. Production design is amazing. I love the cinematography. I think it's one of the best looking comic book movies we've seen in a long time. And that's it before I even say even more. So yeah, Batman S tier belongs.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah,
Richie, what do you think?
I know. I said we've thrown in depth as comic book movies, but I didn't. I forgot this was still on the list. So yes, it deserves to be there. This movie's fantastic. I think it's one of the best movies of the year. I just love the whole feel to it. The detective. I think it's amazing. I love the use of Nirvana's song "Something in the Way." It works as a movie. All the cast is amazing. Robert Pattinson is fantastic as Batman, continuing to shed the whole notion of that people have with him with Twilight. Paul Dano is a great Riddler. He's amazing. This movie I can't say anything that I can't praise this movie enough. I not only think it should be an S tier, I think it should be up the top of S tier. So yes, S tier.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
Best movie of the year so far, S tier, and best Batman since Dark Knight. Henry and I talked about it at length on our Batman Let's Rank stuff. It's the shit. It blew expectations out. Ignore the typical backlash that is now on the internet, of course, and all the comment sections that I'm seeing now. The inevitable, it'll get backlash and then it'll get re-rated again later, and people will come back around on it. It's excellent. I was enthralled for the whole thing. So yeah, I'll throw this in S tier. Batman's great.
Yeah. Well, so I kind of have a slight hot take, not a really big one. This movie's great, but for me, it's almost borderline not an action movie for me, just because the Batman's more of a detective in this. He doesn't have as many fight scenes. There's not a lot of big action set pieces, except for you have the car chase. That freaking car chase is one of the greatest things, probably my favorite part of the whole entire movie. And for that keeps it as an action movie for me. So I think that it stays, but there's a lot to love, like Robert Pattinson. He was incredible as the Batman, and Zoe Kravitz killed it as Catwoman. Paul Dano, amazing. Colin Farrell, great. Jeffrey Wright. But then, for me, the couple of things that just brought it down, I felt like they really underutilized Alfred. I know he's not supposed to be like a main character, but they could have put him in way more than they did. Like, especially if you're going to bring Andy Serkis in, maybe we'll see him a lot more in the next movies. I really hope so. But and then also with John Turturro, I thought he was terrible as Carmine Falcone. Actually, I thought that this completely miscast. I just didn't really like care for that character at all. I didn't find him menacing. I didn't really. I mean, he's supposed to be the head of this mob, and he just didn't really do it for me. So there was that, and I feel like we could have gotten more of the Bruce Wayne character, but I mean that's kind of nitpicky. You don't need like tons of Bruce Wayne, but so I'm still gonna let's see. Well, I'm still gonna give it S tier because the movie was really good, but for me it's low S tier though. It's one that kind of is like borderline almost A, just for the action episode here. Like if we're just talking regular like comic book movies, yeah, S tier all the way, and it's still S, but it's just barely squeaks in for me. So yeah. But Chris, what do you think?
This movie is phenomenal. Seriously, from beginning to end. And like I kind of said in my review initially, as far as I'm concerned, Robert Pattinson crushed it. He is the best Batman. And I'm going to put him on the same level with Adam West. I know it's kind of silly, but Adam West is my other favorite Batman.
That'd be a little silly.
But I love Adam West, and I don't give a shit what anybody else says. But this movie is perfect. Perfect. The casting, the music, the action, the writing. I love what they did with when he is Bruce Wayne, when he is Batman. I love that we get to see like a young Bruce Wayne. He's still trying to figure out all this stuff, and it works for me. And Paul Dano as Riddler is menacing and amazing. And I love that they didn't try to make this some kind of children's movie. Like they even went kind of full 7 to a degree, and I love that. It's what we needed in a Batman movie. The Dark Knight's okay, and all the movies are okay, but they're not this.
It's okay. They're okay.
It's an absolute S tier, top of the S tier, for sure.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention, I didn't care for the score either. Like I didn't like it.
The score was amazing. What are you talking about?
The score sucked. The score was good besides the one Nirvana song. There's nothing memorable. I can't remember what the score even sounds like. Like it's nothing like the Michael Keaton score. I mean, the Michael Keaton score. We need something like more akin to that. But
what are we like?
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, that's just me. Steven, what do you think?
Don't be a hot take one again.
I wouldn't mind it. That was borderline.
I will go A tier.
Okay.
I think there's a lot to like about this movie. I love when they try to make it look like Thomas Wayne might have been corrupt, and then we find out the truth. And Colin Farrell is incredible in this movie. He's so unrecognizable. I do think the Riddler is a more compelling villain when he's shrouded in mystery, and when we finally see him at the end. And I wasn't crazy about the last half hour, with the city flooding and all that stuff. But overall, I still think it's an excellent movie. I don't think it's quite an S tier, although obviously it's gonna make it in the S tier. But it's still really good, and I would still put it in A tier.
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. Yeah. Sounds good. Well,
that's it. All right, there you go.
Move over to Richie. You got
can you scroll down for a bit? I just want to check.
Yeah.
Not really. All right. There's not like really a lot of ones left that I'm super passionate about, but I'll bring this up, and I think I won't be as bold to say S tier, but I think it's A for what it is. I'm gonna go Mortal Kombat.
Okay. That's it.
But this movie is it is dumb. The script is silly, but it knows what it is, and it's everything I wanted in a Mortal Kombat movie. I think not to be biased because it's filmed in I think it was filmed in Queensland, but Josh Lawson, Brisbane actor, kills it as Kano. He's so fucking good in this movie. And then I was just smiling the whole time watching this movie. It's fantastic. But yes, I understand. I'm not going to be as bold to put it on an S tier, but because that wouldn't get there. But I don't know. It was just one of the few movies there I'm super passionate about. So yeah, I'll go Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
I'm not far off from you, Richie. I think this movie knows what it is. I like the fact that they went full R-rated, with it and didn't hold back on it. The fight scenes are fun when we get to it. Yes, all the action in the story is not the greatest in the world, which was just what keep it out of the S tier. And the fact that we still didn't really get a tournament kind of annoys me, that they could have actually done the tournament. But having said that, I think it's still a lot of fun. It'd probably be like a low A for me, like A- kind of territory. But yeah, I'll go A. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you guys too. I think A is about a perfect spot for Mortal Kombat. I remember going to see this movie during the pandemic when not a lot of people were going to the theater, and I saw it in theaters, and it was great. I saw it in a cool little theater where I sat up in a balcony up in Seattle. That was pretty fun. I think that there's pretty much everything that I would want a Mortal Kombat to be, minus the tournament aspect. Yeah, we should have had a tournament that I think that would have made it better. But I'm looking forward to the sequel so we can get some Johnny Cage, because we need some Johnny Cage in this thing. But yeah, right. And especially at the beginning when you see like Hiroyuki Sanada, that's some of the best stuff for me. And then some of the special effects with Sub-Zero and some of those are really, really cool. So yeah, I'll say A. I think A is a good spot for it. Yeah. Chris.
It's funny when you sort of said A-. It's I don't know, man. I love this movie, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is what I wanted in a Mortal Kombat movie. It's an R, and it was great for what it was, and I had so much fun. I laughed. I just cheered along. I'm yes. When he breaks that guy's arms, was amazing. But yeah, I agree. It's an air tier because I have definitely not gone back and watched it again. So, but at the same time, it's very memorable. So A tier for me.
Yeah, but I do have a question about this movie. Who the frick is Cole Young, and why do we need him in this movie? I don't know who that character is, and why we put him in there.
He's the audience character, so they have somebody to explain all the shit that's going on. That's what
he's
it is.
But you can get a wrestler version
with 20 different Mortal Kombat characters.
Create a character.
Yeah. But it's fine. I mean,
I feel like you could have done the same thing with his character with Johnny Cage, bring him out of the movie world and add a regular movie guy, doing movie action scenes, and bring him into real life scenarios and still explain all the shit to him. And you could have done that in this movie.
Yeah,
that would have
been just but it is what it is. We'll get him in the next movie. So
I think they wanted to save at least one big character for the next one. So yeah, so why not?
Yeah,
Steven. Yes, Steven.
I still haven't finished this movie from the last time it was brought up, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Steve, what do you think?
Hey, let's round this up with another A, huh? Let's round this up with another A.
Clean sweep for A. There you go.
Clean sweep for A. Mortal Kombat's a Mortal Kombat movie. Now, anybody who says that the Paul W.S. Anderson is better than this movie, you can go fuck yourself. It's not. I'm sorry. I love the 1985. And I love the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. I love nostalgia too, but this is a much better product. We get a rated R Mortal Kombat movie with actual fucking fatalities. And yes, the acting is a bit stilted, but like Richie said, Josh Lawson kicks ass in it, and he deserved not what he deserved at the end of it. And I hope he shows up in the next movie, despite what happens. I think what it'll happen, and I think Mike Mizanin as Johnny Cage.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like the 95 one a little better. I'm in that camp, but that's just me. but staying the A for now. Yeah. So, Austin, what do you want to nominate?
I'm going to go with kind of a dark horse S tier that sort of came out of nowhere, and for the people who saw it, had tremendous action and a tremendous premise. I'm going to go with a little movie that Lee Winnell directed called Upgrade. And nominate that one for S tier. So it's right there in the bottom middle. This is a movie that really kind of came out of nowhere and surprised a lot of people, especially with Lee Winnell at the helm, who was typically a writer. And the premise is cool. This guy that's kind of paralyzed in an accident gets like a brain chip sort of a thing, and like this AI program that is able to take over his body. And the way the action scenes play out is that there are all these hand-to-hand combat sequences, but it's kind of like robotic and kind of cool. It makes it stand out because the chip is literally controlling his movements almost like a robot, and so he's like doing all this stuff sort of in this interesting way where he's fighting in this kind of very mechanical way, but it's very cool. And eventually he even fights another person that has the similar chip, so they're having this sort of very even matchup. But it's very, very cool. It's a great concept. It's great sci-fi action, which I think we're kind of lacking in this S tier right now, and we should probably include one of them. So sort of a dark horse S tier that came out of nowhere, but I think it deserves to be up there, so I'm going to Upgrade.
So Upgrade is a movie that I've been meaning to get to. I just haven't seen it yet, so I can't really talk about it. So just too many of these movies.
I told you to watch it, damn it! I told you to.
I know. Yeah, but Chris, have you seen Upgrade?
I have not actually, but Upgrade has been also one of the movies I've been meaning to watch because it looks amazing.
Yeah. It looks great. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch it. But Steven, what do you think?
I actually just watched this movie for the first time last night for this.
Oh, nice.
And
someone did that.
Yeah, it was the only movie I was able to fit in for this. But I think it's an enjoyable movie. I don't think it's a great movie, but it's kind of an interesting, kind of like RoboCop meets Venom meets. There's even a direct reference to the $6 million man in the movie. I don't know what happened to Logan Marshall Green. He was in a couple of things and then he just disappeared. But
he's like budget Tom Hardy. When you can't get Tom Hardy, you get Logan Marshall Green because they look very similar.
Which is funny because didn't Upgrade come out the same year as Venom?
I think so.
And I think Upgrade is definitely a better movie than Venom. I would go with B tier for Upgrade. The last 20 minutes though are actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like really cool twist in those last 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, Steve, what do you think?
You know what? We don't have enough sci-fi action, so I'm going to keep it on the S tier here. This movie, it's not a franchise. It's an
original film.
An original film. Just like Train to Busan. So if we're gonna have original movies, we definitely put that, especially directed by Lee fucking Winnell. This movie is awesome. It has a very unique cinematography, especially with the way that it's shot from his perspective when he's looking around and everything. I really enjoy it, and I think it's definitely something that it's underappreciated. This movie doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, and it should be seen by more people. And unfortunately, that when it made its box office debut, it did bomb. And it is unfortunate, but I think that this needs to get more eyes on it. If people, if people love The Invisible Man, they should go back to his previous movie, The Upgrade, and check this one out because this is just as good.
Yeah. Sounds good. Richie, what do you think?
Well, cool. 2 times in a row, I get to champion an Australian. Lou Winnell is a great director.
Yeah.
Lou Winnell is a fantastic director, and yeah, I was tossing up between Mortal Kombat and this movie to bring up, so I'm glad Austin brought it up. This movie is fantastic. This movie it's original. It's just it's what you think of when you think of action movies. This is definitely an easy S tier for me. So yes.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, so what are the votes? Because
3 S's and a B. It's higher than everything everywhere all at once, technically. So
so
it's gonna ride that line. Yeah, it'll be in the bottom of S tier, but yeah. It'll stay in there. All right, Jordan.
Well, so for my last pick, I want to go with one that might be kind of like an under the radar one that maybe a lot of people might not think about talking about, but I want to give it some love here. I want to talk about this movie called Guns Akimbo, if I can find it.
It's right next to Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. So this movie is freaking great. Like I actually rewatched it this week because I love this movie. Like it's just so good. It's like balls to the walls action just from beginning to end. Just crazy action scenes. I'm gonna say S tier for it because as Daniel Radcliffe and it's one of Daniel Radcliffe's like his like movie picks like the roles that he's doing are like really cool. Like he's doing some really diverse stuff, lately, and also has Samara Weaving in it. There's like a really cool character that he has to go up against. But like essentially, Daniel Radcliffe just wakes up one day. He's a video game programmer, and he wakes up one day and he has guns like bolted to his hands, like these 2 guns, and he just goes on this crazy action spree because he gets recruited against his will to this gang that they call Schism or like some kind of online thing where they like have drones flying around like recording your every move, and then he has to go up against this character called Nyx, and he's tasked with killing her and being a part of the Schism thing, and like he's just running around like crazy. Like there's great humor, great action, like the way that it's filmed too. You see some first person shots, you see some really cool shots of him like sliding in different directions and like showing like all the different movements, and like you see him like just not knowing what the hell's going on at first, but then I really like where the character goes and some of the decisions that he makes, and just him like running around in the streets and walks up to the cops, try to get help, and they'll get down on the ground because he has guns that are bolted, like he can't do anything about it instead of rip them off his hands. And so like it's just really fun, and also like all the color scheme, the lighting, just the way that they make the city where he lives just like feel like really super grungy. It's a hard R, so you have Daniel Radcliffe just running around dropping F-bombs that actually work and are like funny, like the way that he uses them. So yeah, I'm gonna say S tier for Guns Akimbo and just see what you guys think. So Chris, have you seen Guns Akimbo, and what do you think?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Oh man,
I didn't give the love for this movie at all. It didn't work. I thought it was kind of
I liked it better than Hardcore Henry. Like I thought that it was the better version of Hardcore Henry to me. But.
Yeah, I thought it was a silly premise. I'm not gonna give it an F, but I'd give it a D. I don't know why.
D. Come on, man.
Yeah, D.
I thought you were a video game fan. This is video game.
I love video games, but come on. Oprah Henry crushes this. This was not.
Man.
No.
We were friends.
What is this thing?
I thought we were friends. But,
right.
That's
it. It was nice hanging out.
Yeah. That's all good.
I haven't seen it. I will say that Daniel Radcliffe has definitely chosen some interesting projects for his post Harry Potter career. But I haven't seen it.
Hey, he's got that Harry Potter money. He can do whatever he wants, man. So he's going to do whatever movies he wants to do. So yeah,
exactly. It's like
he said as much. He's like, I got FU Harry Potter money. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Mesa.
Steve? Yeah.
Didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Richie?
Yeah. I did see it, and I actually even this was filmed in New Zealand, and I know people who worked on it. Like there's my friend Taryn. He's one of the guys that like watches the stream. Like the Indian guy. He's the Indian guy, the fat Indian.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I've kicked with him a few times. But yeah, like this movie's bonkers. I liked it. I mean, I should have brought him up when way back when we did favorite actors. Daniel Radcliffe is. I love his choices he's making. Just the weird bonkers choices he's making. And this is a great sort of video game-esque movie that's better than Free Guy. I'll say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Free Guy. So
I would actually agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'd say S, to be honest. I would probably go A.
Yeah. Austin, have you seen it?
Nope. Missed it.
Not seen it. So there's only two of us that have actually seen it, right?
Yeah. So
no, there's 3 votes.
Oh, no.
There's three votes.
Yeah,
Chris saw it too.
Right. Yeah.
So it's got an S, an A, and a D. That's going to bring it down to a B, probably near Unhinged. Yeah. Unfortunately. Mm-hmm.
Way better than Unhinged, I'll say that right now. But
Unhinged is in front of it. That makes me so happy.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I guess we can go to Hail Mary round.
All right, so Hail Mary round it is. So this is how it's going to work. So I don't have a lot left. I don't know how you have this many left, unless you're going to nominate every Marvel movie on there, which ain't.
No.
All right. All right. So here's how it's going to work. Let me explain it real quick, and everybody can get their picks ready. We will go around the horn, and what we're gonna do is if you think there's any movies still on the list that are either we're pretty much shooting for S tier or really strong A tier, pretty exclusively. So not really anything lower than that. I want you to shout them out. Give me, and you can name as many as you like. Because what I'm looking for is those crossover movies. If any of them get crossover votes, we'll put them to an official vote. I'll put them on the list. So yeah, even if you agree with something, if Chris says movie A and you agree and you say I second movie A, for S tier, say that as well so I can get those crossover votes. But you can nominate as many as you like, and all the ones that have crossovers, I will jot them down and we will do official voting around. But it'll be very quick votes. It'll be like 10 seconds apiece. You know what I mean? Nothing too long, but we'll get official votes on it. So everybody kind of understand where we're going with that. So get your picks ready. I will write them all down. I will circle the crossovers, and we will get that going. So let me write all the names down so I can write everybody's things down, and we will go from there. All right, so we'll start at the bottom. Chris Scott, do you have any S tier or very strong A tiers on the list?
I'm going to go with Deadpool. I'm going to go with Rambo Last Blood. I'm going to go with Cop Shop.
What's that? Cop Shop? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Cop Shop. Okay. I'm going to go with Kingsman Golden Circle. I'm going to go with I'm looking at my phone, guys. Sorry about this. Bear with me.
You're good.
Bright. I'm going to go with
Bright. A lot of movies left. So
I think Bright's solid. I'm going to give some love to Willy's Wonderland. I think that movie's phenomenal. The action's incredible. It's I'm going to go with the Bilko Experiment. Yes, the movie's messed up, but the action works. You cannot deny it's an action movie. They have to duel it out. I'm going to go with, Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge is awesome. I'm going to go with Angel Has Fallen.
a lot of movies here.
Let's see. Sorry. I'm going to go with Pacific Rim Uprising. That was one of the movies that surprised the hell out of me. Because I hate the other ones, but I love that one. And that will be my picks.
So only
You
12
get all
picks
those?
from Chris. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What I think?
All right.
That might be
You
the same,
usually shoot for like 4 or 5, but okay. All right. We'll go 12. Okay.
Hey, you can do
All
as
right.
many
Did
as
I
you
choose
want.
12?
I'll be with you, Chris. I might have 12.
You said 12 movies, so
I'm
there
sorry.
you go.
No.
Okay,
You're
I was
good.
trying to. I think I got them all though. Okay, I wrote them all down. All right, so all right, Steven. All right, you're up next.
Okay. I don't have quite 12, but I do have quite a bit.
Okay.
1917, Baby Driver, The Accountant, Magnificent Seven.
Hold on. I have to write them down. So give me a second. All right. Man. One at a time.
All right, go.
Yeah. Okay.
The last one
All
was
right. All right.
Magnificent Seven, right?
Right. 7. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
The Last Jedi, Hobbs and Shaw, No Time to Die. One that I'm sure I'm the only one that loves, but I do love it, is Jason Bourne. and Aquaman.
All right. Okay. All right. Steve Mesa.
All right, so I got a few. Mayhem.
Yes.
Wrath of Man. Nobody. Mandy.
Okay.
Free Guy. Thor Ragnarok.
Ugh.
And Black Panther.
Okay. All right. Okay, Richie.
Scroll top for me for a sec. I'll go Brawl and Soul Block 99. Atomic Blonde. Keep going. Mandy.
Okay.
Nobody. Riders of Justice. That's actually pretty good. If you go watch that. So it's that. Shang-Chi and Wrath of Man.
Okay. Hold on. I'm actually going to write these on my official thing as we go because we've got so damn many. Hang on. As far as like the ones we're going to officially go back to, because I've already heard a couple that have at least 2, so I'm just going to jot them down really quick. So bear with me for just a second because there's a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of crossover here. So all right, hang on. All
I
right.
appreciate you doing it because I don't know if I'd be doing
I'm trying.
all of this while I'm doing the behind the
Okay. What did I hear? Okay. Okay.
Might have more than Chris. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like it. So.
Oh Jesus! Come on, guys. Give me a break. Be critical. Be critical.
There's good movies left. There's a lot of freaking good movies left.
I don't think there's that many. I've only got 3.
Deserve to be in the grand finale
in the S tier.
So you want them to move on. You want the.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I'll go. I only have 3 that I think are absolute S tier. Baby Driver, The Accountant, and Batman v Superman for the action.
Okay. You're gonna go with Zack Snyder's Justice League, Austin? You're not going with that one?
No, because only because I think BVS actually has better action scenes overall.
Okay, that's fair.
Again, I'm going judging action scenes. That's what I'm judging on.
Mine's a little mix for both, so we'll try to go slow here because I'll probably have
okay. All right,
a lot, but so I'm gonna say 1917. I'll also say Baby Driver.
Okay.
I'll say Black Widow. I like that movie more than most people. Let's see. I'll say Captain America: Civil War. I'm actually shocked no one even brought it up, but let's see. Would say Deadpool 2, but no one else has said it, so I'll say Deadpool 1 then, because someone else did say it. Let's see. Hacksaw Ridge, definitely. Mayhem. No Time to Die. Yeah. If I'm being pretty picky, I'll say Rambo: Last Blood.
Really?
Yeah. It's my favorite Rambo that's ever been made.
Wow.
What the
Jesus.
fuck? Y'all are
The hot
goddamn
take,
out of your
yes.
fucking minds.
The hot
My
take,
God,
yeah.
dude.
That movie's
I know.
incredible. You shut your dirty mouth.
Yeah. But
Jesus.
I'll say
That's
Rogue One, a
unearned
Star
high
Wars
praise.
Are you
story.
high? I think you are.
Which I'm also surprised nobody said Rogue One. Let's see. I don't know if there's really anything else. I'll say Thor Ragnarok. Sure, why not? And also say Willy's Wonderland. So
God.
I had a lot. So
Okay. All right.
really
We have a
surprised
lot to get
nobody-
through.
I'm really surprised nobody said War for Planet of the Apes.
yeah, same.
Because Dawn is better. That's why.
Yeah. War's kind of the weaker of the three, I feel like.
I started
Okay.
watching-
I have, because of you guys rattling off half the movies on the list, I have 13 with crossovers that we have to get through. So
Yes.
we literally
go.
have to be straight votes with like minimal discussion. Like if you vote, maybe like
no
one
discussion.
sentence after it.
Doesn't matter.
Like 10
Yeah,
seconds. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Doesn't matter.
DNA.
Yeah, say
so
one
we
sentence.
gotta wrap this up. Okay. So, and it's only gonna scoot up if we get enough averaged out to get it in S or high A, just to be clear. It's not even gonna make the chart otherwise. Okay. So, all right. Rambo: Last Blood. We'll just go in the same order each time. Chris.
Yeah.
S.
Fucking hell. Steven.
C.
What?
Mesa.
Haven't seen
It's
it.
divisive. So
Richie.
I get it.
D, because you people are fucking high. D.
Yeah.
You're fucking high.
Yeah, it's like the worst of the series, D.
And I'm also gonna say S because it's freaking great.
It's incredible. It was incredible.
Yes, it's
incredible.
incredible. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So,
Two S's, a C, and two D's. It ain't gonna make it. Sorry, no, it ain't gonna cut the dice.
Go blow it out
All
here.
right.
What about A though?
Hey,
Like,
that's
would
the
it make
votes.
it to an A?
Hey,
I mean,
With two D's and a C?
Right?
No, it's not. It would average
two
out to B
S's,
at
though.
best.
we're gonna ignore the other bad
Two
votes.
S's, a C, two
Two
D's,
S's.
a C, and two D's.
Wow.
it's not getting an S. It's not getting an S.
Well, that's two
That's
D's.
not
yeah.
A.
All right.
But
That's
it's two
fair.
D's
Okay.
and a C. That's
Yeah.
at the averages. It's a B. It's B
All
tier.
right.
If you want to put up a B tier, that's fine, but it's not going any higher than B tier based on the votes.
I had to shoot my shot. Sure.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. One down. 12 to go. Okay. Wrath of Man, the Jason Statham movie. Chris.
A.
All right. Steven.
I thought I was actually alone in liking this a lot. I think it's A.
Okay. Mesa.
S.
Wow.
Richie.
A.
Wow.
B.
I'm gonna say C. But I think even with that,
All
it makes
right.
it to an A.
An S, 3 A's, a B, and a C. Low A. It's in low A territory.
Yeah.
It'll be up there, but in low A territory.
I think it
We'll
makes
see what
it,
happens. Okay.
Right.
All right. So the next one, 2 down, 10 or 11 to go. Mandy. Chris.
I haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we haven't
Steven?
seen it, we can just abstain. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
All right. Steve Mesa.
S.
S.
As far as an action movie, A, because there's a long time with no action. I'll just say that. So, but I like the movie. Jordan.
I haven't seen it, so I can't vote. It's fine.
2 S's and an A.
Yeah. So
yeah, mid A. I don't know. Yeah. Mid A.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only 3 votes. Yeah, we could put it like right.
Well, and we need at least usually 3 S's to get it up into the S tier definitively. So we'll see. Yeah. Right. So the next one will be Willy's Wonderland, another Nick Cage movie. Chris.
Yeah. Yes.
Haven't seen it.
Mesa.
B.
A.
I'll say A. It's a fun midnight movie.
I'll say S, but I almost want to knock the A for that song that gets stuck in your head. But I'll say S.
All right, 2 S's, 2 A's, and a B. Again, another mid A. Yeah.
Mid A, yeah.
Could be a contender. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
Cool.
All right.
Let's see. Just put it right there. There you go. Right.
Looks like I actually have to see it then.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. I'll say that. It's awesome. Okay. Baby Driver. Chris.
Yes.
A.
Steve Mason.
I'm going to give it an A.
Richie.
S.
This is one of my picks. I'll go S. The car chases are excellent.
Yeah. And I'll say S, but I don't think it goes to the top of S for me, but it's S.
4 S's and 2 A's. It's going to slide into the S tier for right now. Yeah.
Let me say one thing why I gave it an A.
Oh, don't tell me my computer froze.
Kevin Spacey.
Are you kidding me?
That's why I gave it an A.
Well, guys.
In my opinion, I can't do that.
It's not frozen. It just moved.
Wow.
Well, that's because I pressed something on my keyboard. My mouse is currently just died on me because it's a wireless mouse. So
no, we can't continue.
Let me see if I can just switch the batteries out. That's all it needs. I have more batteries I can grab. I just don't want to delay too much.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
All right.
Switch.
We can keep voting. We'll keep that in mind though. We'll throw Baby Driver up there when Jordan gets sorted out. But we'll keep the votes going because we got a lot more to get to. We'll go with the Bob Odenkirk. Yeah,
I'll keep listening to. Yeah. So
okay. The Bob Odenkirk movie Nobody. Chris.
Absolute S tier, top of it.
All right, Steven.
This one hurts. I really wanted to see this for today, but I wasn't able to get to it. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Mesa.
S.
Richie.
A.
I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to, but I couldn't squeeze it in.
Okay.
Jordan, can you hear us? Nobody?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'll just be like grabbing some batteries, but I'll say
on S.
No, it's not S. A, but it's pretty low A. So, but just keep track of where it's gonna land.
2 S's and 2 A's, so that'll land in sort of A territory. All right, we'll go with the Ben Affleck film The Accountant. Chris.
It's an S film.
What the fuck?
F.
S.
I thought you said F as well.
S. Yeah, I said F.
I'm like, whoa.
No. Chris likes that movie. I know for a fact Chris likes that movie. Okay.
Now we're good.
All right, Steven.
We're moving. We're good.
Okay. All right. So real quick before we go on, hang on. Baby Driver goes into S tier.
Okay. Did I drop it? Oh,
it's in this. Yeah. No. It's right. You almost got it there, and then it dropped out.
The S and it's kind of higher, so I'll just put it like maybe right below.
Nobody was in somewhere in like mid A territory.
Where is
it's right next to Pacific Rim in the middle.
Right under Jack Reacher. No.
Under Jack Reacher.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Goes
and
to
we
A.
are currently voting on The Accountant. So Steven.
Okay. Cool.
As an action movie, I'd probably give it a solid A.
Steve.
Haven't seen it.
Richie.
A.
It was one of my three. S.
Yep. I have not seen it, so can't vote.
All right, same as nobody. 2 S, 2 A's. So there you go.
Where's it at? Is it that one? Is that the count?
No,
No,
that's
it's
ambulance.
No.
Oh, that's ambulance.
It's
Where
down.
is it?
You
Oh
probably
yeah,
need to
Scroll down.
the account.
Oh yeah, The Accountant. It's right next to Belko on the right, in
Right
between
next to
Terminator and
Terminator.
Belko. Under Spider-Man.
There
Under
you go.
Spider-Man. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
mid-A?
We'll go
Is that what
once
it
again.
was?
Yeah, mid-A. Once again on the show, here it comes. Thor Ragnarok. Chris.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean,
Don't let anyone
but
vote
it's
sway you.
not
Just vote with your
S
heart.
tier. It's A.
All right, Steven.
B.
Mesa.
A.
Man, you guys are crazy.
All right, Richie.
A.
I already know Austin.
F. Fucking hate that movie.
F?
F.
Like you're
Fucking hate that movie.
You're-
I don't like that movie
that
at
low.
all.
F. Okay.
At all. It's my most hated Marvel. I hate that movie. I hate that.
I thought you were gonna be
movie.
generous and give it like a C or something, but all right.
No, I've not made my. Have I not made my thoughts clear on Thor Ragnarok over the last
You have, but
shows? Every time it's
I didn't know
brought
that
up,
was like
I hate
like,
this movie.
like F,
I hate
like
this
worst
fucking
of all
movie.
time. I know you don't like it, but
I think it's the worst Marvel movie. I think it's fucking terrible.
I think it's one of the
Yeah.
best. I say S tier. So it's probably A though. I mean, even with your F, there's enough A's to put it in the A. I think.
Fuck me.
So it's going into the A because it's a freaking great movie. Just because you don't
No,
like
it's not.
you don't like movies with like fun and humor in your comic book movies. They have to be dark and serious and full of like certain fight scenes you want. But
I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't think it's great.
I hate shitty humor. I think it's fucking awful humor. I think it's annoying humor. It shits on the characters. Anyways, 1917. Chris.
F. Why the hell are we even talking about this piece?
F. Are you kidding me? Are you
I
high?
hate 1917. Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
you are high.
No, I hate this movie. I made it clear on lots of shows about this movie. I don't get the
I never heard you
obsession
talk
with this
about it,
art
but-
house like war
Ooh.
thing. No.
War thing.
Like, can we stop
All right.
pretending this is a good
War
movie,
thing?
please?
World
All
War.
right, Steven.
Oh, in the entire world, but okay.
It's an S tier for me.
Yeah.
Mesa.
Mesa.
Yeah.
So haven't seen it.
Wow.
Oh, you missed out because this is a great movie to see in theaters.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to see it in theaters. Yep, exactly.
Richie.
A.
Awesome.
As an action film, it's a B. But it's a good movie.
I'm gonna say S. Hands down an S. So, what are the votes?
2 S's, an A, a B, and an F. So that's like B territory, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I'll just leave it. Whatever. You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
But, watch it, Chris. You are crazy.
Goodbye,
I won't say
1917.
I won't say the rest of you guys. Sorry.
All right. All right. The first Deadpool, Chris.
S tier.
I'm
Steven.
between a B or an A, but I'll give it a low A.
Seriously?
Mesa.
B.
A's still pretty good. Yeah.
Richie?
I'll give it an S.
B.
And I'll say S. So, my first date with my ex-wife.
3 S's, an A, and 2 B's.
It's got 3.
It's
I don't know.
it's right, yeah, but it's riding the line. It's riding the line. We'll see.
I mean, I'll just put it here for now, I guess. But we got to compare it to the vote. Like, what did Upgrade get? And that's we'll have to
3
see.
S's and a B.
Yeah.
Deadpool had more B's. It's riding the line.
It also had an A though. It had an A that Upgrade didn't have. So
it's riding the line. I mean, we'll take a vote on it. Well, you can put it in S tier, but we might have to vote on that one, which gets the bump down. Yeah. Honestly, that's probably what we're gonna have to do. We'll go around and vote on that. All right, 3 more to go. So let's speed through these because we're getting low on time here. Hacksaw Ridge, Chris.
S tier.
B.
Mesa.
Haven't seen it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were doing this because of me giving it a B.
I didn't do Game Tumble here. No. I haven't seen it.
No.
Haven't seen it.
Oh wow. Okay. It's pretty good, but I haven't gone back to it. B.
I'm gonna say S. Like this goes to the top of S for me. I love this movie.
2 S's and 2 B's. It's an A tier.
Mid A, yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. 2 more on the list. We have Mayhem, the Stephen Yeun film. That's kind of similar logo. Mayhem. Yeah. So, Chris.
I haven't seen it.
I'll bet most people have. Okay.
Steven?
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Mesa?
S.
Richie?
Haven't seen it.
Austin? Come on, you
haven't seen it. Right? Saw Delco, haven't seen
it. Yeah. Well, I would say like A, like top of A is what I would say, but there's not
only 2 votes. It's not even gonna make it. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Mesa. And the last one will be the most recent Bond film, No Time to Die. Chris.
S tier. Absolutely an S tier.
I'll go A.
A.
Mesa.
Okay. Oh, here it is.
Richie?
S.
A.
I'll say A.
All right, so 2 S's and 4 A's. So it's a stronger A tier. It's a stronger A tier, probably upper A tier.
Near the top, yeah.
Probably the top.
Maybe right
maybe,
there.
yeah. I'll go back and look up the official votes. Boy, it's a good thing I keep track of all this shit, guys.
Yeah,
look at all this shit I got here.
Man.
Fuck me. You guys are lucky to have me.
Everything? Yeah, right.
Okay. All right.
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right, so we are done with that. So we have everything on the board that we're gonna have on the board. So let me go back first and see some official votes. So at the top of S tier, with a clean sweep of 6 S's, Mission Impossible Fallout is the top. A sweep.
Had a clean sweep, all right.
Yeah. Had a clean sweep. So Train to Busan had 3 S's and an A's. That one's going to slide more into upgrade territory. So that one needs to slide down a little bit.
3 S's and an A? Okay.
Yeah, so that one's going to slide down just a tad. I mean, we'll see where it ends up, but it needs to slide down. The 2 John Wicks.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah. The 2 John Wicks each had 5 S's, so they're pretty up there. Probably where they're at right now. Yeah. Let's see. We had Avengers Infinity War with 5 S's and an A, which is actually technically higher than the John Wicks. So that goes up because Steven had the C votes for the John Wick movies, which dragged that one a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Steven, why you gotta do something? Come on.
Now, Spider-Man No Way Home had 3 S's and 2 A's. So that's actually in Train to Busan territory as well.
Yeah, we'll leave it.
Baby Driver has four S's and 2 A's, so it's kind of right where it's at right now. Actually, it's fairly high. So as far as the votes go, Logan was split 3 S's and 3 A's.
It's kind of right where it's at, right?
Kinda, yeah. And then well, here's the thing: the Batman had 5 S's and an A, so that's actually above Baby Driver.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. So here's our contention. I'm gonna see which ones had the lowest, or which one included some B's. So Upgrade had 3 S's and a B. Deadpool also Deadpool had 3 S's, an A, and 2 B's, so they're kind of neck and neck. So those are the ones that had B's out of the votes. So those are the ones that are going to be on the chopping block as far as which one gets the bump down to the A tier. We will take a vote. So what we'll do is we will take a mass vote. This time, I guess I will ask which one deserves to be in the S tier between Deadpool and Upgrade. Give me your S tier vote for which one deserves to stay. So, Chris, Upgrade or Deadpool? Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Upgrade, but as much as I love Deadpool, I'm going to give Upgrade the S mark because of the originality, it sounds like.
Okay, Steven.
Well, even though I gave Deadpool an A and Upgrade a B, I'm going to actually downgrade Deadpool for me and go with Upgrade.
All right, Mesa?
I'm going to leave it on an S. I'm going with Upgrade.
Richie? Out of the two?
I'm going to leave it on an S as well. Go with Upgrade.
I'm also going to go with Upgrade over Deadpool.
I'm just voting for Deadpool because I haven't seen Upgrade, so Deadpool, but it doesn't matter. It's going.
All right. Upgrade stays. Deadpool. Now, Deadpool will be an honorable mention because it was on the chopping block, so that is one of our honorable mentions.
Gentlemen, gets
honorable mention. It will be there. It will be there by default. So we will look at the A tiers to determine which are the other 2 honorable mentions. So this might be tricky because there's a lot of options here.
We go around and each nominate 2, I think, is what we got to do.
I guess so, yeah. Everybody will kind of nominate what they think the 2 honorable mentions should be, I guess. And if we have enough crossovers on some, then we'll roll with that. So, yeah, we'll just go around the horn. Everybody, and now they have to be A tier movies. You can't nominate something that you love, but it's in B tier or anything like that right now. It has to be strictly A tier. Which 2 would you nominate for those other 2 honorable spots? So, Chris, what would you nominate out of the rest of those for honorable mention?
So in other words, does it have to be also those 3? Is that what I'm voting on?
Voting on 2.
No. You're voting on two. Yeah, Deadpool's already in. The other 2 honorable mention spots, we need 2 movies. So which of the 2 other A tier movies would you nominate?
Nobody, and I'm going to vote on The Gentleman.
Nobody and The Gentleman. Okay.
Yep.
All right, Steven, what would be your 2 out of that tier?
I'll go with No Time to Die and The Accountant.
Okay. All right, Steve, what would you nominate out of those?
I would nominate Everything Everywhere All at Once and Mandy.
Okay. All right, Richie?
I would say The Accountant and Mortal Kombat.
Okay. All right. I would go also with The Accountant and that's tough. You know what? I'll go Mortal Kombat.
I'm going to say Thor Ragnarok, Austin. No.
You can try.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting being last because you can be like more strategic. Because there's movies I want to vote for that no one's mentioned, so maybe don't say those ones. So I would go with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
And Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay, so here's where we're at. The Accountant had 3 mentions, so The Accountant is in for an honorable mention slot. All right.
See that one.
Okay, and here's our final conundrum where we need to go around the horn. Both Everything Everywhere and Mortal Kombat had 2 votes apiece. So we will go around the horn for that final slot. Would you give it to Mortal Kombat or Everything Everywhere All at Once? And we'll go around the horn and vote on that. So, Chris, and this is for the final honorable slot.
Mortal Kombat.
Okay. All right. Steven.
I haven't seen either, but Everything Everywhere All at Once looks like it's more my bag, so I will go with that.
It is, I think.
All right.
Like just
All right, Mesa.
from what I know
Everything
about it.
Everywhere All at Once.
Okay, Richie.
Mortal Kombat.
This is going to be another conundrum because I'm going to vote Mortal Kombat, and I know what Jordan's going to vote for, and it's going to be a fucking tie.
All at once.
So it's a complete and utter tie.
The only thing we could do is like just do our first 4 honorable mentions and just do that for the poll. That's all I can think of.
Maybe we could have our first one that has 4 honorable mentions, I guess, because we're stuck. Otherwise, we're at a stalemate. So
we had a tie, so we have 4 honorable mentions tonight. Is what I kind of.
All right. Well, everything else is by the votes, so that's the way it is. But yeah, okay. I mean, we could quibble over, those 6 through 8 slots. There are 6 through 9 slots or something. Or I'm sorry, the 7 through 9 slots with Spider-Man, Train to Busan, and Logan. Because those would be the only quibble ones that we could play around with the mention by. But everything else is pretty much by the votes. So,
what about the John Wick movies? Do we want to do like a vote on which one?
We can do a vote on the John Wick movies. Yeah, which one would be number 3? Which would you prefer? So, Chris, are you still there? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, which one would be higher for you, John Wick 2 or 3?
John Wick 3. I think he just got better and better.
Okay, fair enough. Steven.
I think 3 is better than 2, so yeah, 3.
Okay. Mesa?
3.
Richie?
3.
I'd also go chapter 3.
And I would easily go 3. So.
Okay. All right. Flip flop them. There you go.
Yeah.
That's that.
And then was there another one? Another vote that you thought we had, maybe, or not?
No, because Batman had 5, Baby Driver then had 4, and the other ones were split, like kind of 3 and 3, Train to Busan, Logan, and Spider-Man. So they're all just kind of whatever. That 7 through 9 is kind of. It's quibbles at this point. Yeah, it's yeah. So yeah.
I mean, certain ones I would rank higher, but it really doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Because they're all going to make the championship episode.
The poll. Yeah.
And they're all going to make the poll too. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, do you want to break it down for us, Austin?
Yeah, I'll break down. I know this took a little while. A lot of little minute votes at the end. A lot of movies that got mentioned. But yeah, we finally settled on it. So action movies from 2016 to present. At number 1, we have Mission Impossible: Fallout. At number 2, we have Avengers: Infinity War. At our numbers 3 and 4 slot, John Wick Chapter 3, and then John Wick Chapter 2. Number 5, we have The Batman. Number 6, Baby Driver. Number 7, we have the most recent Spider-Man: No Way Home. At number 8, we have Train to Busan, the action horror film. Number 9, we have Logan. And number 10, The Dark Horse Upgrade. And then we will have 4 honorable mentions this time just because of the way it kind of worked out with the votes and us having 6 panelists. It just came down to a split. So we've got Deadpool, The Accountant, Everything Everywhere All at Once, still in theaters right now, and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Good job, guys. Excellent work. I know it's a little bit longer tier ranker than we usually do, but there's a lot of movies to go through. So there you go.
Yeah, and eventually we want to do a championship episode. I'm debating, and we can talk about it maybe more off air or if anybody watching has any thought, if we have more split decades, we could throw all the winners of all these polls into a tournament fights episode, possibly.
That would be fun.
Determine the best of all time based on a tournament fight. But yeah, so we can kind of think about it, but yeah.
Because we don't know, because obviously we're going to have another episode for this one, so we'll have basically 20 from this decade. 2000s is kind of not as stacked, so I think one episode will be fine for that one. Because I had a Battleground episode that kind of went to that, and it wasn't very stacked, honestly, with just the 2000s. 80s and 90s are both going to be pretty high up, but we'll see how many movies we throw in there. There'll be a lot of stuff to talk about there. We might have to split those as well into early 80s, late 80s, early 90s,
will
late
just
90s.
Be one episode. So.
And 70s will be one episode, and we'll probably stop there. So at 70s. So so that's kind of how it's going to look. So we'll have. Yeah, we might end up having like an 80 movie championship or something, just the way it works out. But we'll see. There's a lot of
we had like 80 we had like 80 movies tonight, so I mean there's nothing saying we can't do it. So,
right.
Yeah, so
all right.
Because we might have more movies that deserve to be there than we can even do a tournament fight. That's the issue. So but
I think so.
But that was a fun time. So we'll just go around the horn. If you have anything that you want to plug, just tell us where we can find you. So we'll start with Chris. Where can we find you?
So I'm literally on my phone right now, and I'm trying to remember like my socials. So Twitter at writer_84, at Instagram at cscott1128. You can find me, and across the Movie Hero group on Facebook. I try to moderate and try to do more of that. I'm trying to think that's probably where you can find me right now. My work is kind of chaotic right now, but I would like to try to be on more and more of these episodes. But with my wife's schedule, it may mean I'm like setting up in my gym, but that's all right. I will. Yeah. I want to do more of these. For sure.
We're just happy to have you any way we can. So yeah. But Steven, where can we find you?
Oh, I'm in all of the social media outlets: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Letterboxd @Shepherd82, and that's it.
Nice. Steve, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me. You can find me on my social medias right here at the bottom, right here at Mesa Media One. That's my production company. We're the only Florida-based wrestling production company that matters. You can also check out some of my stuff on my regular Facebook stuff. My Instagram at smesa85. You can also see me kick some ass in some trivia. I am currently the five-time show about trivia champion, and you can see me in kick ass in Full Metal Classics every Thursday. I won this past week, so I have to wait till the next month to compete again. Hopefully get 2 more wins to be finished for the season, and that's about it.
Cool. Sounds good. Richie, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me just around the place. I think the next time I'm on here is Jacob Barber's Top 128, which is next week. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Going through that. And then I'll be on Henry Confidential's channel on Wednesday, doing a triple threat match with Will Cohen and some guy. That's
me.
And so you can. I'm around. I probably have to dip out right this minute because I've got to go to. I really have to go to a gig, but I'll talk to you guys soon.
No, go ahead. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks again.
We'll see you later.
Take care.
Cheers, brother.
Hey guys,
Sorry.
All right, man. Have a good night, Chris. No, you're good, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, we'll see you later. But Austin, where can we find?
Yeah, so tomorrow night, Jacob Barber and I will return with a podcast about movies. We'll be doing kind of another late one because he's hosting a Battleground match at 9 p.m. Eastern, so we'll be going live probably around 10:30 or so Eastern. And our topic will be movies that deserve sequels that never got one, or movies we'd love to see sequels to that aren't really in discussion. So deserving sequels, that's what we'll be talking about, having our own little list, and we'll just be running them down, so that'll be fun. Yeah, we try to keep it positive over there, on podcasts about movies, do positive topics, keep things on the up and up. And then myself and Henry Confidential do Let's Rank stuff. We just did Friday versus Harold and Kumar, all 6 of those movies. We ranked them last week. That was a lot of fun. And this week on this Wednesday, we'll be doing the View Askewniverse. So Kevin Smith's View Askewniverse films, which is those 7 films, I believe. Just the ones in the View Askewniverse. So that'll be fun. Yeah, good discussion. And then, on the Lonely Marks podcast next week, which is our wrestling show here on the Movie Hero Network that I sometimes join in on, we're going to be doing a wrestling draft. So we're going to tie in with the draft that's going on right now. We're going to be doing a wrestling draft, only there's no limits. You can draft anybody from any decade, any promotion. We are going to do 30 slots apiece. So if you want to talk to Jordan Owens or Jacob Barber, if you want to get in. So the whole thing is going to be 30 slots, 25 wrestlers or tag teams, just 25 total, 2 managers or valets, and 3 commentary/backstage personalities. So media personalities to make 30 total slots. And then the following week after the draft, we will each take our draft picks, our 30, and come up with our dream original pay-per-view card with those draft picks, like an inaugural show with those people you picked. So we're going to be doing that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, Mesa, if you want in on that, talk to him. We'll have to go through it pretty quick. It'll be a long episode, so just strap in, everybody. It might be a 3-hour marathon, but we'll try to do it quickly, much like the draft. Somebody drafts something about a minute why, and we'll move on. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get through, but it'll be fun. So literally anybody from NWA in the 80s to current AEW to Attitude Era or Monday Night Wars personalities,
All Japan Women's Wrestling.
Yeah. You can do All Japan Women's Wrestling. You can do current New Japan, Okada or somebody like that. You can do literally anybody. You can go back and draft Luf.
I'm salivating.
You can go back and draft Luthez or Vern Gagne if you want to. That's up to you.
Can you draft Frank Gotch, George Hackenschmidt?
Yeah, you can.
What?
Yeah, you can draft Frank Gotch and George Hackenschmidt if you like. Anybody from any period. So, but that leaves it open. So if somebody takes a pick, and it may not even be on your radar. So that's why it's a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens. So that one we're gearing up for. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, no limits.
So like a fun time. I got to do something like that for like basketball or something. I think that'd be it.
You could do, Jordan. Your basketball. You guys should do an all-time dream basketball draft, and you can draft anybody from any team and see what happens, and maybe put together 10 people, a 10-person basketball team, and you guys draft with literally like no limits, kind of like what we're doing.
Yeah, and get into all that.
Yeah, you can draft like a coach and an assistant coach or whoever, you know what I mean, and then you could even draft commentators too, play-by-play guys or whatever. So doing the same thing.
Commentators too. Dang, that'd be fun. Yeah.
So there you go. You guys should do that. Why not?
I got about 6 or 7 people in mind. If anyone's tuning in or watching this on the replay, hit me up if you're a basketball fan. I think.
But Mesa, hit up Jordan Owens or Jacob Barber if you want in on that. I mean, that's fine. I got no problem with that. I'm not the host of that show, but those 2 are the co-hosts. So hit them up.
I already shot him a DM. So
wait.
Sweet. All right.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you can find me celebrating my birthday tomorrow. So I'm gonna be taking a day off. I'm not going to be doing any work on the YouTube, any work for my job, just nothing. I'm taking like a total day off. But I might be tuning into your podcast about movies. That sounds like a fun way to relax tomorrow. So I might do that also.
Yeah, we'll just be chit-chatting. You know what we do? We just recommend stuff and just talk about stuff. It's fun. Very casual.
Yeah, the sequel episode, that's a fun one. So yeah. Yeah, but
we've been talking sequels a lot. This one's all hypothetical sequels we want to see. So
yeah,
it's not ones that actually there's more sequels than you think existed. This list was actually somewhat tough because then I'm like, oh yeah, that one did have a sequel, like straight to video or some shitty sequel, and I'm just like, oh, that doesn't count. Like it actually had a sequel.
What a movie that did have a sequel, but you wish it didn't because it was a
yeah, exactly. Or I wish I could do a different
yeah.
sequel than what they gave us. Yeah, like a better sequel.
Redo the sequel to like Dumb and Dumber or like whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That doesn't count.
Redo Glass.
So, yeah, right.
I like Glass. Fuck y'all. I like Glass.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but you can find us on all the socials at Movie Hero 2121. You can find everything for the channel. Also on the Schmodown Friends in the family group. That's probably honestly the best place to find info about the channel is in Schmodown Friends and Family on Facebook. But we post on the other social medias from time to time, and you'll see the poll over there probably sometime tomorrow. With the top 10 and the 4 honorable mentions, because we got 4 this time, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button, definitely hit the subscribe button because it really helps us out. We're going to be doing another giveaway when we hit 200 subscribers, so we're about halfway there. So we'll halfway from 100 to 200, so we're close to 150. But and then also one of the things that I wanted to mention that I actually probably will do tomorrow. Actually, probably we'll put out a couple of them. I've been doing the Who Would Win It on a Fight series over on the Schmodown Friends and Family group, and we've been in the midst of the comic book heroes, and I've been like crazy busy at work lately, so I barely had enough time to prep for these shows. So I haven't posted in about 4 or 5 days. So I'm gonna try to put a couple out because we got some pretty fun matchups coming up. Because I want to build up to when we can actually do a tier ranker, or no, a tournament fight is what it's eventually going to be when we narrow it down to a top 16 from each of the 4 groups. But and then also just a little preview of what we have coming up for the channel. Some episodes on Tuesday. We're going to be doing part 1 of Jacob Barber's 128 favorite movies of all time. And actually, he told me he already created the tournament bracket for the episode, so I can be surprised. So we usually have to put them all together, so I get spoiled. But he did it this time, so it'll be a surprise even for me. So that'll be Tuesday. Then on Friday, we're doing just a slight pinch hit where we're going to be doing best action movies from 2010 to 2015. So we're going to throw that one in there because it's technically a new month. So if any guys want to come back, you're
I would argue the front half of that decade is even more stacked than this one. There's some heavy fucking hitters in that decade.
Down, Steve,
or in that couple things. There you go.
Be on the episode. And then if you want to come back, Steven, you could even come back too if you want. But yeah. But and then we have best war movies coming up. So there's that one. We have Moose Haas, a friend of the show. We're doing his top 64 movies with his family members. He's gonna have like his sister and his cousin and his brother, I think, on there with me and Austin. So that'll be a fun time. So and then we also have best coming of age movies coming up. So we have that one. And then also me and Steven Shepard, we're gearing up for a little match. We're going to be debuting a slight spinoff to the tournament fight. It's going to be called Tournament Fights Versus, where I know Steven is a big TV guy. So he's going to take 32 of his favorite TV characters of all time. I'm going to take 32 of my favorite TV characters of all time. We're going to throw them into the Tournament 64. We're going to go head to head. They're going to duke it out. And we'll let you guys decide on which one is your favorite and see who comes out on top. So that's just a little preview. And also just to throw one extra because it'll be another tournament fight versus the Tuesday after that. We're doing Jim Carrey versus Robin Williams movies as a versus two. So that's coming up. So that'll be fun. So those are some episodes you can look forward to. So with that, that'll do it for us tonight. So thank you guys for joining us on the episode. It was a fun time. So we'll see who comes out on top eventually for the action tier ranker series. So it'll be a few months long. So we'll do one per month till we get all the way to the 70s. So, but yeah. So for Steven, for Steve Mesa, for Austin, for Chris Scott, for Richie, I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.